Previously on the Make Money Online Challenge. How crazy is Armando's story?
I was raised by immigrant parents, coming from a Hispanic background. All we know is working construction day to day. And mainly it was just seeing my dad, work not because he wanted to, but because he had to.
Before getting into digital products, he was working construction full time. And that's all he knew because that is what his dad worked on.
I was trying to do something about it. I didn't even know how to use a laptop when I first started. The growth that digital products had, that was like a completely new business to me at the time. And then that's why I joined Monetize. First 3 months, we did about over 300,000. This month, we're projected to do over 250,000.
One of the big limiting beliefs is like, hey, can I do this as a woman? 100%. Anaya is such a beautiful example of that.
I'm African American, I'm Hispanic, I'm Muslim, I'm a woman without a college degree, without a background in digital products, without anyone to ask. And still, it's just like completely changed my life. Like I've purchased a home that's now an investment home. I take my family on vacation, see the world. I was never able to travel before I started digital products.
I want you to see with your own eyes what is possible here.
That was the tipping point in my life. Retire my dad, pay off their house, buy a McLaren, buy my office and move out. There's no better feeling than that.
Our first month, we hit $100,000 and all you have to do is just try. It's gonna be so worth it.
The way we make money is about to change drastically. We have 19-year-olds making more than doctors, single dads, moms with multiple kids, college graduates and dropouts, people from small cities and countries, even as non-tech individuals or as their first ever online venture. And because of that, I'm here to challenge you to use this same opportunity to start your own digital business in the next 5 days. My question to you is, are you down for the challenge? Bro, what are you doing? Alex was definitely not meant to bring that in today. I was meant to open this vault tomorrow, but fuck it. I guess cat's out of the bag. I'm gonna half open it for you guys. What an insane first day. Wow. That was an eventful one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It truly is an honor to be here with you today. I checked the numbers yesterday. We had 140,000 people live at the peak. I think it hovered anywhere from 115 to like 125. That is insane. So, as I said, before we move on, I just wanted to, before I say anything else, just take a moment to acknowledge you for being here, especially on day 2. It's crazy the amount of people that are like show up on day 1 are committed, like they keep that promise to themselves, but then they don't show up on day 2. So the fact that you're here today, I just want to say I'm so ridiculously proud of you, and it tells me so much about who you are as a person. And I truly don't think that it is coincidence that you're here today. I think you're here today for a reason, and I'm very excited for us to unpack potentially what that reason is. So before we get into it, I just want to do a quick sound check, video check. I want you to put committed in the chat. Once again, I might be looking off to the side. I'm just looking at the comments, not being rude. So yeah, committed, put it in the chat and let me know if we are good to go. Once I can see in the chat that we are good, then we will get started. All right. There you go. Committed. Incredible. Love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to everyone. Now, for today's session, we're going to do exactly what we did yesterday. As I said, the only complaint, this is the 3rd time we've run this, the only complaint we've ever gotten from these challenges is that the chat was way too distracting. So because of that, this time around, I'm going to ask my team to close the chat during the presentation. So once again, we can focus entirely on the learning and we can remove all unnecessary distractions here. Sound good? Amazing. Let's get into it. But I do want to say that just like yesterday, I still want to see interaction from you guys. This stuff takes a lot of energy out of me. And by the way, if I cough at any point, I do apologize. I'm feeling a little bit poorly. I have been staying up way too late and waking up way too early, preparing all this stuff for you guys and really just making sure that, there was a lot of stuff that we like cut out because I was like, I don't want to distract people or I don't want to confuse people. And there's a lot of stuff that we added. Like I've truly poured my heart and soul into this. So Because of that, I want to see as much interaction from you guys as possible. Okay, keep up the energy. So what I'm going to do multiple times throughout the presentation is, instead of asking you to drop a yes in the chat like we normally did in the past, instead I'm going to get you to hit the reaction button in the bottom right corner of the live chat. Just make sure to click that button as many times as you want whenever I ask for it. Cool? So with that being said, let's actually try it right now. Okay, if you are ready to get started, hit that reaction button. Okay, so one of the reactions, let me know. I'll sip a swig of tea, and once I see him come in, amazing. Lots of reactions. That's how we do it. Let's get into it. All right. Look, if you were here yesterday, you now know something the vast majority of people out there have no idea about yet. You know that AI digital products is the single biggest income opportunity available to regular people right now. You know that specialized AI can build an entire product for you without you needing a skill, a following, or a single dollar of capital to get started. And you know that the only thing that has ever separated the people who succeed with this from the ones that don't is their why. So I hope you spend some time thinking about that, because today that why matters a lot. Today is where everything gets real. Yesterday, I showed you the what and the why. Today, I'm giving you the how. And if yesterday I told you this model is like an unlimited slot machine where every pull costs you nothing, today is the day that I put that machine right in front of you and I hand you the lever. So that way you can start pulling it this weekend without touching your savings, without quitting your job, without putting anything you've already built on the line. You just pull. And if it doesn't hit, you pull again. And you keep going, because nothing is stopping you and nothing is being taken away from you until one day you check your phone and there's money sitting there that had nothing to do with how many hours you worked that week. And when that happens for the first time, and it will, you're going to feel something that you've never felt before from a financial decision. Not stress, not anxiety, not the sick feeling of wondering if you made a mistake. Just the quiet, almost disbelief of realizing that the machine is working and that nobody can take it from you. Specifically, by the end of today's session, you are going to have the exact step-by-step system behind the 15 million generated in 90 days the last time I made this public. This is the exact same system that made James earn $6,000 in his first week of applying the system and a total of $16,000 in his first month. For Jay to generate $10,000 in his first month with this model, or for Maurice to earn $32,000 while working from Vietnam without ever showing his face online. And today I'm handing you the same system on a silver platter, so that way you can go ahead and create your first AI digital product and get it in front of real buyers this weekend already, giving you the best possible shot at waking up Monday morning to money that wasn't there when you went to sleep. Now, I know what just happened in your head when I said that. Part of you heard that promise and said, okay, that sounds incredible, but is this actually real? And honestly, that's actually the right reaction. Okay, that's the reaction of a smart person who's been promised things before that didn't deliver. In fact, I'd be more worried if you didn't have that thought. So let me actually just speak to that before we go any further. I want to reinforce that the $15 million and the $8.9 million I keep referencing, those are not a handful of cherry-picked success stories I selected to make this look better than it is. Those are the aggregate tracked earnings of every single person who participated in the last challenge I ran, updated in real time on a public leaderboard for the entire world to see. When I put that leaderboard up, I had no idea if it was going to end up at $50,000 or $50 million. I published it live because I was certain enough in the system to let the results speak for themselves in public, with nowhere to hide if they didn't. They ended at $15 million in 90 days, tracked on WAP, where every dollar is verified. And on top of that, I need you to remember something I told you yesterday. The reason I'm here is not charity, okay? I make money every time you make money through WAP, which means I am structurally incapable of overpromising you here. If this system didn't work, I would be the person to feel it. So yes, what I just promised you sounds almost too good to be true, and I understand that. And in fact, I'll be honest, I actually felt the same way the first time I saw what the system was capable of, when I saw all of the results that was being created in front of my eyes. But I'm going to ask you to do one thing today. One thing, okay? I want you to set that down to the side for just 1 hour. Keep it with you if you want. Pick it up at the end of the session if you still feel like you need it. But give me 1 hour with an open mind and let what you are about to see speak for itself. And if you think it makes sense, commit to taking imperfect action. Can you do that for me? Because the people who made that $15 million a few months ago, they were sitting exactly where you are right now, watching the same challenge, thinking about whether they should get into this or not. They approached this with an open mind and committed to taking imperfect action. And the rest is history. So remember, this thought and this idea remember it, okay, when it comes to making time to make a decision today. But before I give you the system, it's important that you understand how we actually got to the system in the first place. Not just what the system is, but why I built it. Because once you understand that, this whole thing will make so much more sense to you. You see, a few years ago, I was running a successful service-based business. I was making upwards of 7 figures a year. I had a team, I had clients, and they were lining up. By every external measure, I had made it. But the thing is, I still felt miserable. Not because the business wasn't working, it was actually working almost too well. A service-based business is great if you want to provide services and work with clients. You know, there's a lot of money to be made, but if you've ever worked with clients, any number of clients in any industry, you'll know that the right number of clients makes you a good living, but too many clients will make you feel like you're no longer running a business, but that you're actually run by one. I actually used to tell people who asked me about scaling a service-based business, my recommendation and my advice was always scale it to its maximum, then descale about 30%, because that extra 30%, that last push where you're taking on every client you can get, it's just not worth it. It will make you feel like you want to throw yourself off of a bridge. And I had pushed past that point. Every morning I woke up, my day already belonged to someone else. I spent the day working on other people's businesses, solving someone else's problems, and my calendar was full of other people's priorities. At one point, quite frankly, it felt like a prison. The harder I worked, the more trapped I felt. I had gone looking for freedom and instead built myself a cage in the process. Now, I want to speak to something here because I know that a lot of you watching right now, your situation probably looks very different from mine when looking from the outside, okay? But very familiar when you look from the inside. I bet that that feeling I just described, you probably know it. Maybe you're working a job you don't particularly like. Maybe you have to, you have to rent to pay. You have bills. You have people depending on you that you can't just walk away from. The job might not be glamorous, and it might not even pay well, but it's what you have, and that puts you in a precarious situation because leaving feels impossible. Or maybe you're on the other end of it, okay? Maybe you've spent your entire career climbing towards something. You studied hard, you worked hard, you made sacrifices, and you got there. You got the title, you got the salary, you got the respect, but you still feel trapped because someone else still owns your time. Someone else still decides when you show up and when you go home. And you realize that after all of that work, the life you were promised at the end of it still isn't yours. Or maybe you're still in university and you've already figured out that the path you're on isn't what you want, but you don't really have any way out of it yet. And that feeling of being stuck before you've even really started is its own, it's its own kind of suffocation. Or maybe you're approaching retirement. You've worked your whole life for the moment when your time finally becomes yours. And now that you're almost there, you realize you're going to be dependent on a retirement check that tells you exactly how much freedom you're allowed to have. And it's not enough. Different situations, okay? They all look very different from the outside, but the feeling is the exact same. Now, it's not nice, is it? Someone else is holding the keys to your life. And that was me sitting at the top of a 7-figure business wondering if this was all there was. So I went looking for a different way, not a way to escape work entirely. I wasn't naive about that. I was looking for something very specific, a model that would allow me to make money without having to trade more hours for my time. Okay, more hours for that money, where my income wasn't directly tied to my presence, where I could step away for a day, a week, a month, and the thing I built would keep working even when I'm not there. I looked at a lot of models. Most of them had the same fundamental problem that I was already living. They needed me there to function. That was until I found out that there was this one specific model where you build something once, a single product, and it keeps selling whether you're at your desk or not. No clients to manage, no service to deliver, no products to ship, just a product sitting on a marketplace that is delivered completely digitally, fully automated. For the first time, I could see a version of my life where my income and my time were two completely separate things, where the size of what I could earn had nothing to do with how many hours I gave away to get it. And that was the moment that everything changed for me. As you already know, that model is a digital product. And I went all in on digital product. And it gave me the one thing back that I didn't have: control, not just over my income, over my life. And that is exactly what I want to hand to you today. Now, before I do that, one very important thing you must do. I know that there's so many distractions all around us, but this strategy I'm about to share can genuinely change your financial life. So please treat it like one, okay? I don't want you to miss a single crucial step, because if you do, you might not be able to apply this and get the success you and the person you're doing this for, your why, deserve. So please make a commitment to stay focused for the next hour. Can you do that for yourself? Close out any other YouTube tabs you might have. Stop checking Instagram. In fact, let's do something together. I want you to pull up your phone and let's put it on Do Not Disturb. And if you're watching from your phone and you have a computer, make sure to watch it from your computer. The experience is so much better and it's way more distraction free. It's for 1 hour, and I promise you it's going to be worth more than anything else you could be doing on Instagram or YouTube during those 60 minutes. And for that, I need your complete attention. Deal? Okay, let's get into it. Now, before I show you the system, I need to cover one specific mistake that I see people making over and over again that will completely destroy your chances of success with AI digital procs. Trust me, it's deadly. And that mistake is choosing what product to create based on what you like, what you're good at, or what you're passionate about. You see, the issue is, the moment most people decide that they want to get into digital products, they sit down and ask themselves, okay, what should I create a product about? And naturally, they go to what they know, their hobby, their interest, their passion, something they genuinely care about. And I get that, okay? That feels like a logical starting point, but the brutal truth is the market doesn't care about your passion. Not even a little. The market only cares about one thing. Whether your product solves a problem that people are already desperately searching for a solution to and can't find a good enough answer just yet. That's it. That's the only question that matters. And the painful reality is that most people build products that no one asked for. They spend lots of time creating it. They genuinely care about the topic. The product is genuinely good. And then they don't make any money from it, and they can't understand why. And then they think that their digital product doesn't work and that the industry is not for them, while the simple reality is they just chose a topic for which there's no buying demand. Let me give you an example to paint a picture of this, okay? Imagine trying to sell snowboarding clothes in the Bahamas. How much money are you going to make from it? Probably not a lot, okay? Is it because snowboarding isn't a good niche? No. Is it because there are no other people in the world who like snowboarding? No, you're just trying to sell the wrong thing in the wrong place. Now, that's not as, it's not always as obvious as this example. And that is why our priority is to make sure that we actually don't let you make that decision. We let the AI make it for you, because the AI doesn't have preferences, passions, or attachments to any particular topic. No. It looks at what people are already searching for, already paying for, not finding a good enough solution to, and it identifies the exact gaps where a product can walk in and win. Your passion is not a business strategy. The data is, okay? So if you were planning to build your first product around something you personally love, stop. That instinct, as natural as it feels, is the single fastest way to guarantee that your product never sells. Let the AI decide. It will get it right in a way that your gut feeling never could. And I will show you in a minute, in practice, how the AI does that for you. So, I want to show you how the system actually works. This system is built on top of 3 success secrets that you must follow if you want to build an online income. And each one is powerful on its own. Together, they're what makes this the most accessible income opportunity I've ever seen. So, let's get into the first one. How to get your first AI digital product fully built for you in less than 90 minutes using specialized AI. You see, when people hear AI-powered business, the first thing their mind goes to is complexity, coding, technical setup, a steep learning curve that requires months of figuring out before anything actually works. I want to put that assumption to rest right now, because the technical barrier to this model is as close to zero as anything I've ever seen. In fact, if you can type in a question into Google, you already have every technical skill this requires. And I'm actually going to prove that to you in just a few minutes here. So let me show you what this process actually involves. You see, every step of building an AI digital product is built around tools that were specifically designed for people with no technical background. So that way you can start and finish this process without ever hitting a moment where you need to figure something out yourself, call someone for help, or wonder if you're doing it wrong. There is no coding involved. There's no complicated software to install or configure. The interaction with AI works exactly the same way a Google search does. You type in what you're looking for, and it gives you what you need. Most of the time, you don't even need to hit type. You just need to press next. Look, if you have ever searched for something online, sent an email, or used a smartphone, you already have every technical skill that this process requires. And here is the part that most people don't know about. The individuals currently generating serious income with AI digital products on WAP are not, for the most part, technically sophisticated people. They are regular people who learned a simple process and executed it. Take the example of Armando once again. He was 19 years old when he made $111,000 in 45 days. Not a software engineer, not a developer, not someone with any particular technical background. In fact, he was working in construction. He actually bought a computer for the first time to start executing on this. And what makes this possible for people like you is that these AI tools are designed to be simple. You don't need to set aside a weekend to learn the tools. You don't need to watch 3 hours of tutorials before you can begin. You could sit down tonight after work and have a finished product ready to list before you go to sleep. Not a draft, not a half-built idea, a finished product on a marketplace with a price on it. And that is because the people who built these AI tools understood that complexity is the enemy of execution. Every tool in the system has been built with that principle in mind, which means that what might look, I guess, from the outside like a sophisticated AI-powered business is from the inside a very straightforward process that anyone willing to follow instructions can execute on. The sophistication is in the technology running underneath it. As Da Vinci once said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. This way, look, you don't even need to trust yourself to be able to create a product. I understand for some of you guys, you're watching this and you're like, I just don't trust myself. I understand. Okay, we've all been there. And that's why you're in a situation now where you just need to trust the AI. Now, I want to walk you through exactly what this looks like in practice, because I think once you see it, a lot of the questions you might still have are going to disappear on their own. So here is what I did. I actually sat down on my computer and recorded myself going through this entire process, creating an insanely simple digital product live. So that way you can see just how simple this is and understand how you too can have your own digital product created in a matter of minutes. And I'm going to ask my team now to play this video so that way you can see it with your own 2 eyes. I am so incredibly excited to show you guys this. Every time I go through this process myself, I am still blown away the fact that this is possible. So here we're going to have my first AI digital product created for me. Now, throughout this presentation, you guys have seen some incredible examples. So maybe you remember some examples that come to mind. For example, like dog training for new puppy owners. And it's basically like having a team of 10 people, the best strategists in the world, the best copywriters in the world, to not only figure out the best product to create, but then also how to frame that product so it has the highest likelihood of selling well. But to be honest, I didn't sleep that well last night. I can't really be bothered to use my brain. I'm sure you know what that experience is like sometimes. So I'm a little too lazy today to even suggest a topic. So I'm just going to say, I'll let you pick any topic you want. Create my AI digital product. And here we go. We've got tons of candidates. All right. So, and from these candidates, it's got a score out of 10 on pain, demand, and speed. And what it's doing right here is basically like analyzing tons of different business plans and weighing up which one is the best option. You know, this is the process that used to take people half a year or a year of paralysis of like, should I do this or should I do this? Let me do the market research. And should I frame it this way or should I frame it this way? And instead it's doing that entire process for you. Like this is, I hope you guys truly understand how insane this is. Okay. That has done all of that market research, synthesized all of the information around it, and then created a AI digital product for you. And not only that, even some of the assets around it. So we have the 3 guardrail rule, okay, short messages to keep ordering your life from becoming a court case. All right, peaceful co-parenting after divorce. Like this is a topic I would have never ever thought of or come up with myself. But there's a massive market out there, I'm sure, as you can imagine, right? And it's come up with everything here. You can see right here, lower conflict, protect the child, and keep the handoffs calm. Like this is insane. As I said, I never ever would have thought of this sort of topic myself. We've got all the sections here, and then from there, voila, we can just hit download, and we are downloading our first AI digital product. There we go. It is as simple as that. This is your unlimited slot machine. You can pull it as many times as you want. And that is truly the beauty of this business model. And I hope you understand why I get so excited. Even me personally, I still to this day get so excited about going through this process. To me, this genuinely feels like a video game, and it's like a fun process that then also helps me build an online business. Like what a beautiful world we live in where something like this exists. That is so cool. Even watching that back, like you could see how excited I was in the moment, but even watching it back gets me so fucking hyped. Look, that is what it looks like to let AI do the work for you. From start to finish, that entire process took less than 5 minutes. And you didn't need any technical skills. You didn't need to know anything about the topic of your AI digital product. And you didn't need to design anything or hire anyone. You just clicked a few buttons and the AI did everything else. Now, You're probably wondering what this AI is that I use to generate the product for me, okay? Well, that's actually an AI tool I've been developing internally to create wildly profitable AI digital products for myself as well as my clients. It's actually not available to the public, but if you stick with me until the end, I will tell you in a minute how you could get access to it today. Now, here's our second secret. How to guarantee failure is impossible with this business, okay? I want to address something that I know is sitting in the back of your mind right now. Well, what if my product doesn't make money? And it's a fair question, and I'm going to answer it so honestly that it'll probably catch you off guard, because the answer is your first AI digital product probably won't make any money. That's just the reality of it. And I'd rather tell you that now than have you go in with unrealistic expectations, okay? Because here is what I need you to understand. That is the beauty of this business model. Because when you do this right, a product that doesn't sell costs you nothing, okay? And that's where most people go wrong when it comes to creating an AI digital product. Here's what they do. They invest a bunch of money and time to develop a product, but they have no idea if people actually want it or not. Sometimes they spend months developing this product. More often than not, they spend a lot of money developing it as well. And then when it comes time to actually put it out there, no one wants it. And now they're in a pretty bad situation because they don't have any money left to create a new product. And they probably can't afford to invest even more time to keep it running without making money to pay for the bills that they created in the process of developing this first product. I'm sure you guys can see the problem there, okay? And if you look around, you're going to see that's exactly the same situation with pretty much any business that fails, whether it's a brick and mortar business or a physical product business or even services. So why am I telling you to create an AI digital product if I just admitted in front of everyone that your first product will most likely fail? Why would I do that? Well, because that's the beauty of this business model when you apply it in the way that I teach you. In our system, we create and launch our AI digital product in a way that costs you zero money. All you need to do is pay once for the right tools, and you can use them over and over and over again as many times as you want to create as many digital products as you want. Just like if you wanted to make orange juice, you would have to first buy the juicer, but once you have it, you can make as many cups of orange juice as you want. The only difference is, in our case, you actually don't even need to buy the oranges to make more juice. That process you've just seen me running through to create AI digital products, you can run through that process as many times as you want. You are not stuck to the first product you create. If you don't like it, you just create another one. If you're not making money, you create another, okay? And in this process, you can keep creating new ones until you publish one that makes you money. It's that simple. And here is probably what's going to happen, okay? You're going to create your first AI digital product and it's going to make $0. You're going to create your second one and it's going to make $0. So is your third one, okay? Eventually, you're going to create one and it will make $15 a day. It might be your fifth product, it might be your 10th, but who knows, okay? No one truly knows. But then you'll keep creating them. And you're going to create one that now makes $50 a day. Eventually, you'll find one that makes $100 a day. And now things start to get serious because you now have 3 AI digital products, one making $15 a day, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but another one's making you $50 a day. Another one's making you $100 a day. And at this pace, you're already making $5,000 a month from AI digital products. In your current situation, how much would an extra $5,000 a month help you? Maybe it'd be enough to pay off your debts, or it would cover your rent or your mortgage, or maybe even just some of your monthly expenses. Maybe it will allow you to actually save a bit of money to take your parents or your partner on that dream vacation that you guys have been talking about for years now. Or maybe it would just mean you can finally relax knowing that you don't need to live paycheck to paycheck anymore. That if something happens next month and you can't work, you're still good because you now have a safety net to fall back on. How much better would your life be in a situation like that? Look, the truth is, an extra $5,000 a month is a life-changing amount for 99% of people. Heck, and even an extra $2,000 a month can already completely change your life situation. And what's most important is there's no inventory to buy when testing those products. No cost of goods, no marketing budget needed, no ongoing cost while you actually figure out what to do next, okay? You just build as many AI digital products as you want at the same near zero cost as the first, and it goes back to the unlimited slot machine example. What are the odds that you hit the jackpot the first time you try? Virtually zero. Yet that's what everyone tries to do with business. They create something and hope that they hit the jackpot in the very first try. And that's why 90% of businesses fail in the first year. I mean, it sounds so obvious when we say it like this, right? And quite frankly, it is. So what should you do? You need to make sure that you can pull that lever as many goddamn times as it takes until you hit that jackpot. And that is what AI digital products allows you to do when you have the right AI tools to do that for you. Just like Pedro from Portugal, he made $9,200 from his first digital product. Now, if you notice, he actually created 3 digital products to get there. Or Eugene here, he made $5,000 from 13 products. Not 1, not 2, but 13. Or Nafi from Staten Island. If you look at his stats, he made $16,000 from his digital products. And how many did he create? 17. He didn't create 1 or 2. 17, because it's simple. The more products you create, the more money that you're likely to make. And if you don't make money from your very first one, it doesn't matter. You can just create more. So why wouldn't you create as many AI digital products, knowing that if they don't work, it doesn't really cost you anything? And the more products you create, the more likely you are to make money. It just makes sense, right? 3 completely different people, one thing in common. None of them got it right on the first try, but they all eventually made money. So the question is not, what if my first product doesn't sell? The only question that actually matters is, are you in a position where you can keep pulling the lever until one hits? Because in this model, where every pull costs you nothing, the only way to truly fail is to stop pulling. And I am convinced that if you are here, you're not the type of person to give up easily. So, finally, let's cover our third secret. How to make a full-time income from your AI digital products without you ever having to sell anything. You see, the biggest misconception that people have about making money with digital products is that it requires sales skills. It doesn't at all. In fact, I want you to forget the word selling right now. Instead, I want you to think about every product sitting on the shelves of a supermarket. Each of those brands is generating tens of millions of dollars in revenue. Now, how many times have you been personally approached by someone from Kellogg's trying to convince you to buy their cereal? Never, because they don't need to. They know that when you want cereal, you're going to walk into a supermarket, and their job is simply to make sure that your product is on the shelf when they arrive. AI digital products operates on the same principle. When someone goes to a supermarket, they're already in buying mode. They came to purchase something. Just like when someone opens WAP or any other marketplace, they're already in buying mode. They are there specifically to find and purchase a digital product. Your job isn't to convince anyone of anything. Your job is to have the right product listed on the marketplace at the moment the buyer arrives. You don't need to sell. You just need to be there. Just like Ryan did, a monetized client who created his first AI digital product, listed it on a marketplace, and quickly got his first 4 sales. Now, I want you to pay attention to these 2 friends right here, Jamarcio and Julio. One used to sell cars, and the other worked at a nonprofit. Together, they created a digital product on the topic of sports, priced at $50 a month and listed on WAP's marketplace. And as a result, this digital product started to rank on WAP's marketplace top charts, netting Julio and Jamarcio 450 signups from people who were already shopping around on the marketplace. Just so you get an idea, that equates into $22,000 in earnings going straight to their pocket every single month, only from listing on one marketplace. Let me give you another example, actually from a different marketplace. One of the best-selling digital products ever is called Become a Super Learner. It's a guide on speed reading and memory. Before creating and listing his digital product there, this creator had no followers. No one even knew who he was, and he didn't have to do anything other than list his product there to start making money from it. Fast forward to today, and more than 235,000 people have purchased his product. All of those people were already on the platform looking to buy something. Not his product specifically, but they ended up coming across it because it was there when they were looking. Just like you do when you find a new cereal brand in the supermarket. You didn't go looking for it, but the product was positioned at the right place at the right time and you purchased it. That is what a marketplace does. It aggregates demand that already exists and then connects it with products that meet that demand. Your job is simply to put the right product in front of them. So at the end, it's all about just having the right AI digital product in the first place. That's all you need to worry about. So are you starting to see how you can build something that generates real income without ever having to convince, persuade, or sell a single person on anything? Because the platform does that part for you. The same way Kellogg's doesn't knock on your door to sell you cereal. They just make sure that the box is on the shelf when you walk in hungry. This way, you know going into this that your only job is to create the product and let the platform do the rest. And for the first time, your income isn't dependent on how comfortable you are talking to strangers, how persuasive you are, how thick your skin is after rejection. You don't have to deal with any of that. The difference between where you are right now and a completely different financial situation has nothing to do with personality, confidence, or natural ability. So far, in this challenge, you discovered that AI builds your entire digital product for you in minutes. So that way you can walk away from today already holding a finished product that's ready to sell, even if you've never built anything online before and if you have zero technical background. That in this model, a product that doesn't sell costs you absolutely nothing, meaning you can test as many products as it takes without you risking your savings, going into debt, or having a single failed attempt set you back. So the only question is never, hey, can I afford to try again? But simply, am I willing to? And you also discovered that generating income from AI digital products has nothing to do with sales skills, confidence, or personality. So that way, for the first time ever, success has nothing to do with who you are as a person, your background, or what you've done in life so far. You discovered how marketplaces put your product in front of millions of active buyers who are already there looking to purchase, meaning you never have to worry about where the sales are going to come from because the platform does the heavy lifting for you. You discovered that a small portfolio of AI digital products running in the background could generate an extra $5,000 a month, meaning no more living paycheck to paycheck. And for the first time, having money coming in that doesn't depend on you working more hours. And I can tell you for a fact, you've still only seen a tiny fraction of the success that people are having with AI digital products. There are tens of thousands of people making significant income from digital products using WAP. And that is how you know this stuff works, and it will work for you. After all, it worked for a single mom to generate $1,200 her first month applying the system. A guy in Vietnam to make $9,000 a month selling Fortnite maps without showing his face. A 6-year-old to sell millions with a woodworking digital product. Regular everyday people to earn $23 million with digital products the last 2 times I opened up this opportunity. And I could keep going on for ages. So, can you now see how you are only one digital product away from the life that you've always dreamed of? And do you now understand how having the right specialized AI tools is the key to creating that one AI digital product? The one that could completely change your financial situation and allow you to live the life that you've always wanted. So the question now is, are you ready to finally be early for something big and take full advantage of this before the big boom of this industry? If you are, I want to offer you a very special opportunity, an opportunity to take advantage of the best time ever to create a digital product with the best technology ever to make this happen. So that way your own knowledge and skills are no longer the ceiling on what you can create and how much you can earn. So that way you are not capped by your background, your education, or the career path that you happen to end up on. No, none of that. So now you can earn as much as doctors without having to go through the decades of studies that it takes to become one. So that way you can build an AI digital product in any niche, on any topic, in any market, regardless of whether you know anything about it or not. And that way you can start doing it this week already with my help, so you never feel stranded. So that way you can prove to yourself that you have what it takes to be successful. Now, I have a very important question for you. You see, I don't want to be like one of those people early in the morning knocking on your door asking you to sell something, okay? So I would love for your permission to allow me to share how I can hand you this exact specialized AI software that I've walked you through to build your own AI digital product, even if you are a complete beginner. When I say hand it to you, I literally mean hand it to you on a silver platter with me being your guide as we create your first AI digital product together, even if it's your first time. So please, I want you to take a moment and smash the like button on this live right now if I have your permission to share how you can start building your first AI digital product today already. And with that being said, let me take a quick sip of tea. Okay, like counter is going up. Oh, wow, that's going up fast. Wow. Well, you guys seem, I was going to say, keen is not the word you. All right, well, thank you. All right, thank you so much to everyone who's given me permission to share our system. Look, it's with great pleasure that I present to you Monetize. Monetize is the world's first complete system for building highly profitable AI digital products. Listen, I'm going to let the results speak for themselves. Our clients see incredible results beyond what words can describe. You can see right here, one of our clients made over $5,000 in pure profit. Or how about Carl, who made $7,000 within 3 days of launching his digital product? Or yet another monetized client, Enric, who reached $10,000 mark within 1.5 months. Or if we want to talk about some big results, what about Alex, one of our clients who made $145,000 in 90 days? Look, I could go on for days with these, okay? We have over 3,300 raving and verified reviews from real people of all ages from all over the world, and dozens and dozens and dozens of pages of client success case studies inside of our community. It is safe to say that I know what I'm doing and that this system works. And now, for a very limited time, you're invited to get instant access to this revolutionary system responsible for over 23 million in earnings for the ones who applied it, and that will produce astronomically greater results in the next 90 days for the smart individuals who apply this, starting with Synthesize AI. Synthesize is our specialized AI that effortlessly builds your entire AI digital product for you, completely hands-free, allowing you to rapidly start seeing profits roll in, even if you're a complete beginner. Think about it this way. Imagine there was a black box machine that you could just push a few buttons on and it would pump out a profitable AI digital product before your very eyes. Well, that's exactly what Synthesize AI does. And the last time we released this AI, I actually used it myself because I wanted to validate it. So I used it myself to build one of these AI digital products, which ended up making me over $370,000 in earnings within a 30-day period. And it took me less than 60 minutes of work to develop it with Synthesize to make from one product that most people make in a year. This AI is trained on all the data of over $100 million of my own digital product sales, as well as over 20,000 AI digital products created with it. This way, you never have to guess what product to create. You just let the AI do all of the hard work for you. This entire process is hands-free, so that way you can have your first product created and ready to start making money by this weekend already. This way, you are ahead of the pack and you get to explore untapped markets before anyone else gets in. And that is why a single license of Synthesize is priced at $2,999. And the best part, you get unlimited access to it, okay? This way, you can create as many AI digital products as you want and fail as many times as you want because it doesn't cost you anything to try another time. Now, pay very close attention because I want to sweeten the deal and ensure that the possibility of failure on your side is as low as humanly possible. And to do that, we have introduced our highly exclusive add-ons that are only available during this challenge. For those of you who are serious about changing your lives and see this as your golden ticket to the freedom that you've been searching for, if you take action today, you're going to get rewarded, starting with digital product formula. You're going to get access to the exact same blueprint used by every single person who ended up on this leaderboard the last time that I hosted this challenge. Our clients applying the system went from zero sales to consistent daily income streams, with people like Connor generating $16,000 in 24 hours and Rebecca hitting $9,000 on her first launch day. And here is what I did. I've actually recorded a complete implementation training on how to use this blueprint, every single detail, every click, every strategy, starting from scratch. This way, you can watch over my shoulder as I build actual AI digital products. So that way you can literally just copy me instead of needing to figure things out yourself, okay? I want you to take a moment and really let that sink in. Can you imagine the relief of never having to wonder what's the next step? Because every single move is mapped out for you. So that way you never have to worry about road bumps that can cost you money or even worse, time, by allowing me to walk you through every step. This is crafted specifically to ensure your success. And historically, people have paid $1,495 just to access my training programs. And you are going to get grandfathered in 100% free. As Diane said here in her review, you cannot fail unless you do not follow the blueprint. Every possible potential roadblock has been addressed in this complete system. You get everything. Just put the pieces together and make money while helping others. But only if you act now. Now, you might be wondering, what if you happen to get stuck during this process? What if something happens and you have a question that needs to be answered? Well, that's exactly why I'm giving you access to Ask Eman AI. I have taken my entire 10-year journey, every video I've ever published, every paid program I've created, and thousands of hours of internal consulting calls with paid clients and fed it into this AI, which means you can literally message me you can literally message it as if you were messaging me. Okay, this is the equivalent of having a virtual version of me available 24/7 in your pocket to answer all of your questions and concerns. This way, you're never going to get stuck or be left alone without anyone to ask for advice. I am there for you 24/7, never leaving any stone unturned. This is not something I can even put a price on because you can't get this anywhere else. It is literally priceless. Now, to make sure your odds of success are as high as possible, we're not done yet. Look, this is insane. If you don't make your first digital product sale within 60 days of joining Monetize, my own team will personally step in and perform a complete diagnosis of your digital product. I'm calling this the perfect product insurance policy. You are going to have access to the same team at my company that's generated over 100 million helping you hands-on. We're going to deliver a personalized action plan telling you exactly what needs to change for you to start making money. This way, even if you do everything wrong, you can still find success because our team will personally help you. So that way you don't even need to trust yourself to get things right. You just need to leave it to our team. Now, we need to go back to something that I mentioned yesterday. You see, the only way to get this level of one-on-one access to my team to review your product is through my consulting program, UpLevel, which will cost you $7,800. With Monetize, if you don't make your first dollar, you get this one-on-one diagnosis at no extra cost. Now, let me tell you why you made a very, very, very good decision by being here today. Because we actually have a fast action bonus for the first 888 people who join Monetize. And it's sat in this vault right here. You see, there are 888 of these inside of this vault. And I would absolutely love for you to be able to grab one of them. Okay? So the 888 tickets inside of there are only valid in this live stream for those who manage to get their hands on it. Okay? And I'm going to have my team, if I check my phone later on, I promise I'm not being rude. I'm getting an update from the team of when we have to close it down once the 888 are taken. Now, imagine this, okay? You and I working together side by side, locked in for 4 days straight. You see, while everyone else is still going through the training on their own, figuring things out by trial and error, hitting walls they didn't know how to get around, you're already 3 steps ahead. You have direct access to the person who built the system, answering your specific questions, correcting course in real time, and compressing months of figuring things out into days of actually doing it. Well, that's not a head start. That's the difference between someone who launches their first product in less than a day and someone who's still preparing to launch from weeks from now. These 4 days alone spent with the right guidance can be enough to completely change the way that you think about making money and actually unlock an entirely new way for you to create an income online. And I'm going to tell you a little secret about this. This is actually a bootcamp that we're running, and this is a bootcamp that's only offered to clients who have been with us and Monetize for a year, because I'm sharing advanced strategies that I don't mention inside of Digital Product Formula. So you're actually going to be able to join them. You're going to shortcut your journey by an entire year and join this advanced group of individuals from the get-go, so that way you can start making money as fast as humanly possible. These first 888 smart individuals who jump in will get a head start and start launching their AI digital products by the time that others are still going through the training. Now, I'm going to open up spots for this in just a second. And considering everything you're getting with Monetize today, I expect that these spots are going to fill up fast. So once the number gets close to 888, I will give you a warning and I'll be very, very clear with you. And by the way, the moment that does, the moment we get to that place, my team is going to go to the checkout page and we're going to delete this from the page. So once I give you the URL, if the section that you're seeing here is still there by the time that you check out, then it means that you still get it. But you have to hurry because it might be gone at any minute. Now listen up very closely, because what I'm going to tell you is something that honestly you might call me selfish for it. As I already told you with WAP, We are only able to make money when you make money because we take a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of the money that you make, as I mentioned in episode 1, which means it is in our best interest to constantly update and perfect our AI system to ensure that you are always profiting. And there's a very simple reason for that. We are trying to turn WAP into a $100 billion company. And the only way for me to accelerate that process is with your help. That means I need to make sure the system I'm handing you actually works, because the more money we help you make, the more money we're going to make. And on top of that, if we can prove to you that we know what we're doing, the chances of you coming back when we launch new AI systems and purchasing from us again will be through the roof, right? If you gave us $1 and we gave you $5 or $10 or $50 back each time, would you not keep giving us $1? Of course. But this relationship, and in my case, to grow our company, the only way to do that is if we deliver successfully, and everyone who joins us makes incredible profits. So sure, call me selfish because I need you to make as much as possible so that way I can achieve my goal. Now, you're probably wondering, how much is this incredible opportunity going to run you? Listen, we have spent well over 7 figures to put this entire AI system together and make it available for you. Each one of the softwares and the add-ons you get costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to develop and just as much to maintain. Every single time you create a new AI digital product, I pay out of pocket to cover the server cost for that operation. And that can very quickly add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And what you see on your screen here isn't even adding up to the amount of money that we spend on payroll for our engineers investing in the best AI infrastructure, deploying new strategies. What you see here is just the base cost to get all of this packaged to perfection for you to use. Look, if I were to break down all of this and sell each component individually, the total value here would come up to over $14,000. As a matter of fact, this is completely undervalued because of the profits that our new clients joining us here today are about to get. Look, if we do half of what we did last time, that's $7.9 million. If we do the same as last time, that's $15 million. If we do more than what we did last time, who knows what the number could be? So imagine being a part of this small group of individuals who together will get paid tens of millions of dollars in earnings from applying this complete system. Just that alone would already make enrolling a no-brainer. However, look, we understand the average person can't pay $14,000, okay? We understand that for the average person who needs this, needs an equally fair shot at finally having their day in the sun and building real generational wealth. So look, you're not going to pay anywhere near that $14,000 price tag. In fact, you won't even pay $10,000. And that would be extremely justified based on the income that this can create for the average individual. If $5,000 is what we were going to ask from everyone, if all Monetize did was let you have the opportunity to stop saying, I can't afford that, it meant that you never again had to do the mental math at a restaurant or talk yourself out of something you actually wanted, would that be worth $5,000 to you? If all that did was give you back your time, so that way you weren't trading the best hours of your day, the best years of your life, grinding away to build someone else's dreams while yours sits on hold, would that not be worth investing $5,000 for? Let me ask you this. If all this did was put you in a position where the people closest to you, your parents, your partner, your friends, your children, looked at you differently, not because you got lucky, but because you actually went out and built something, because you became someone who creates their own opportunities instead of waiting for one to show up, would this really not be worth the small investment of $5,000? The answer is of course. But here's the thing. We're doing something extremely special only for those of you who are here live with me right now. Look, you just agreed with me. $5,000 would be extremely justified, but you won't need to dish out $5,000. For today's exclusive live workshop, you can get complete access to this entire package for a single payment of only $1,995 by going to joineman.com or by clicking the link in the pinned comment in the live chat. Now, if you want to save your spot between the 888, make sure you do this right now and complete your enrollment right now. Once again, it's only those who are smart enough to join us fast that will be able to reap this exclusive benefit. All you have to do is head over to joineman.com, make the decision right now to enroll and enjoy the start of true financial freedom. Just imagine having your AI digital product generating you money day in and day out, even while you sleep. And remember, this is only for those who are live with us right now because we want to reward you for being a fast mover and sticking with us until this point. So Only those of you listening can access this by clicking the link in the pinned comment, which is joineman.com, and get in at this highly discounted rate with all of our add-ons and exclusive bonuses. Once this challenge is over, this offer will be gone for good. And after enrollments close, the bonuses are gone. And so too is a special discount. So you need to make a decision fast and decide if you want to join us. And don't forget about the fast action bonus, the 888 action takers we have. If you are one of the smart individuals who sees the value of this and you are ready to finally break the chains and build an extra income online, then head over to joineman.com and enroll now. Now, what I'm going to do is going to completely blow your mind. I'm going to have you covered completely. Look, I know what's going through your head right now. Well, what if I'm 100% willing to join and ready to put forward the effort, but I cannot make monetize work for me? Okay, what happens if I put in a small amount and it simply doesn't go as hoped? Am I going to lose money? These are all great questions, and I'm doing something that I've never seen anyone do before because I know what we have doesn't exist anywhere else. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm announcing our better than money back guarantee if you do not profit. It is a work with you until you win guarantee. The way it works is very simple. When you join Monetize, you either 10x your investment or we keep working with you until you do, period. We will never charge you another dollar for updates. We will keep coaching you. We will keep giving you new updates, new programs, and supporting you until you 10x your investment. Look, the last time I made this available, our clients were in awe when they got dozens of thousands of dollars worth of software and training that was never promised to them, given to them on a silver platter because we care about you as a client. I mean, look, just read some of the things that our clients are saying. Every day I log into Monetize, I get surprised. You are giving us more than we could have ever imagined. Thank you, Eman, for over-delivering. Thank you for giving us all the tools that we need to succeed. And we have hundreds of these sort of comments inside of our community. Look, our goal is for you to recoup your investment at a very minimum. Okay, we want to ensure that we will 100% make you that you will 100% make your investment back as long as you use our AI system. And because of WAP, what's so cool is we can literally verify every number, every dollar in real time. And that is why we can offer such a strong guarantee, because we know that this works and we can prove it will work for you. This is your opportunity to build a life-changing income online with my continuous help until you get there. Now, for those of you guys who go to joineman.com and decide to make the smart decision and enroll now, you can have peace of mind that we will always have your back throughout the entire journey. But why do we do this? You see, when I sat down with my team and told them I was going to make this guarantee, the reasoning behind it was simple. Who on God's green earth would put a halt to a system that's making them money every single month? I mean, let's think about it. Who would actually kill their golden goose? No one. Because of the fact that we know, based on the results of the last two challenges, we can confidently say that if you do not want to build an online income from zero, then yeah, maybe Monetize isn't worth it for you. However, for everyone else who is a logical person and understands why this is a no-brainer to jump in on, I will see you at joineman.com. So you can enroll right now before you miss out on being one of the first 888 people to get all of the extra add-ons that we've prepared for you. Spaces will be filling up fast, and we are limiting this special deal to a first come, first serve basis. We are very limited on the number of spots available for our 4-day digital product bootcamp with me, so you need to move fast or you are going to miss out. Remember, this is the only way to get on a Zoom meeting with me if you're not one of our enterprise clients paying $25,000 or above. With that said, we only want to reward those who are serious and ready to change their life starting now. If you can afford the small entry fee, I have something very special for those who qualify. People ask us this all the time. Is there any way I could get in for free? Or they try to bribe us with something along the lines of, okay, I'll split the profits with you and then some. Listen, I wish I could give this to everyone for free, but I simply can't. We have overhead to cover and staff to pay. We have hundreds of thousands of dollars in monthly payroll alone for our team of engineering and client success. Also, for those who ask to split profits, that sounds good in theory, but then it makes it unfair to those who dished out their hard-earned money to enroll. That would be me slapping them in the face, and that's not something I'm looking to do. I'm trying to build trust, not animosity. So we have a very simple solution that you're going to love. Recently, we've gained access to some massive buy now, pay later firms such as Splitit, Klarna, Afterpay, Clarity Pay, and many more. Now you might be asking, well, why is this impressive? You have to understand that very few businesses on the market have access to their services, as they only serve businesses with a long proven track record of customer satisfaction. So me being able to offer you these payment methods is actually a privilege for us, because it speaks volumes about the way that we do business, as well as our track record with our clients. And with these payment options available, allowing anyone to be able to get started right away with zero excuses. So let me show you how you could actually get this for a fraction of the total price if you qualify. Step number one is very simple. Head over to joineman.com right now. Once you're on the joineman.com website, you're going to need to click on the Get Access button, and then it will take you over to our enrollment page, where you're going to be able to see all of the financing options that are available in your region, from Klarna to Affirm to Sezzle, Clarity Pay, and even Split It, which is pretty much available virtually everywhere. Now, let me share the steps with you right here. Look, I cannot make it any easier for you to get access for this tiny amount. We have different options for folks who want in, but simply don't have the funds to dish up upfront. Look, you've seen it yourself. You can take complete advantage of Klarna, Sezzle, Affirm, Clarity Pay, Split It, and even many more. All you have to do is pick one which you want to use based on the installment options that they give you, as well as your region. Go through the process and check out. And if you use a buy now, pay later option, they will typically approve you on the spot if you qualify. Check this out right here. You can get instant access for as low as $166 a month. Now, let me ask you, how much have you spent on Uber or ride shares to and from one location? How about indulging in takeout food twice a week? What does that run you every single month? I bet it's more than $166. So let me ask you, if I were to hand you a system that will allow you to take as many Ubers or order as much takeout or grocery shopping and get more than the basics, wouldn't this be worth that little $166 a month? So if you're ready to stop letting problems chew away at you every single day, scared to open your bank account app because you don't want to face the number that you're going to see on the screen, perhaps you do belong with us inside of Join Eman right now, joineman.com right now, and take the leap of faith. What's the worst that can happen? We have you completely covered. And let's face it, another 90 days will slide by, and you're going to watch people come in and out of this program and be wildly successful. You can't simply sit around because unfortunately your time is running out. Just remember that in 90 days from now, when someone is posting their results from this exact challenge, someone who is sitting exactly where you're sitting right now, you will have to remind yourself that you also had the opportunity to be in their shoes, and that you yet again let an opportunity of a lifetime slip through your fingers. Unfortunately, you're going to have to be the one that has to live with that. Look, I'm here today to give you a fair warning, as well as ample time to get in before it's too late. So if you are ready, because all of the risk is on us, well, then you know where to go. JoinEman.com. The link is pinned. Go now. By the way, if your card is declining, that is totally normal. It happens all the time. It even happens to me when I'm trying to make purchases of something, okay? All you have to do is simply call your bank. Many people face this issue. It's super common, okay? And we want to ensure that if your card is getting declined, but you have the funds and want to get in before the spots expire, you can. Call your bank, let them know you authorize the charge. It's super normal, and then let it go through. Remember, the fast action bonuses will be taken away as soon as the countdown hits 0. It will disappear with the special package. But don't worry, we'll be here. We'll wait for you. Just make sure you call your bank now if you're getting declined. Now, guys, I want to change the setting here for a bit, and I actually want to open up for a more informal, full camera screen session. Okay, so that way we can have a bit of an informal conversation, kind of similar to like what we did yesterday on the main session. And for me personally, that was actually my favorite part of the session. I actually feel like this is going to be the most valuable part of this entire presentation, because I have a few things that I want to say to you. And before I do that, I'm going to have a nice swig of tea. Wow, that was a lot. And by the way, I see that a lot of people are asking about the 888. Don't worry, I will ask my team in a second. I'll be a bit rude for a second and check my phone and give you guys an update on that. All right. Look, I actually want to start this impromptu portion of today's presentation, or today's live, by taking a moment to talk about excuses, okay? Look, we all have them. However, many of you tend to confuse excuses with the fear of uncertainty, okay? I mean, I want you to stop and really think about it for a second. If you knew for complete certainty that you stand absolutely no chance of failing, you would jump in, right? I understand that there's a voice in the back of your head that's still telling you, well, there might be a very slim possibility that you could fail. And I will be lying to you if I told you right now that there is absolutely no possible way that you could potentially fail. Okay? I know what you're thinking, but Iman, you just told me that it's practically impossible for us to fail with what you've put together for us. And yes, that is the truth. But I also know that the only possible way for you to not become a winner and have this work for you and allow you to start building an online income is if you give yourself an excuse to not make this work. If you are someone who is thinking of enrolling, but you plan on jumping ship the moment you encounter a roadblock, that's unfortunately something I cannot help you with because that's all mental. What separates those of us here who will reap the rewards from everything I've shown you today compared to those who will be forever stuck in the same vicious loop trying to find that magic bullet that doesn't exist is simply one thing: excuses. You are the only roadblock currently stopping yourself at this moment in time from growing, not just financially, but also hindering the amount of time that you could have. I mean, think about it. If you don't have to worry about paying your mortgage or rent or groceries every single month because you have an AI digital product that is making you money even when you're not working, that will inevitably free up a lot of your time. And the excuse that I personally have to sit here and really hammer this into you is the fact that time is something you're never going to get back. Okay, I hope you understand that. When I think about this, there's when I think about this, there's something that always comes to mind for me. Okay, there's a story that always comes up when this topic comes up. All right, and it's about a man who ran the numbers and realized that if he could just generate enough income to cover his basic expenses, he could stop working Fridays, just Fridays. Okay, he wasn't trying to become a millionaire or to retire. He just wanted to look back and realize that, you know what? I wouldn't be happy with a life where I traded every Friday of my children's childhood for a salary. And maybe if you're anything like me, I don't have children, but I'm sure most of us here have a mother or a father or maybe a grandma or a grandpa that you love, and unfortunately you just don't get to see as much. Maybe it's even just your dog. Do you really want to look back and realize that you wasted all of this time that you could have spent with them? Because I know for most of you here, yes, it'd be nice to retire or become a millionaire and, all this stuff. Maybe it'd be nice to have flashy cars and all this stuff. But let's be honest, I think we have pure intentions in that, or at least I did when I first started. And that's what makes me the happiest when I see, for me, sure, when someone gets a nice car or a nice watch, that, great, nice. But when I see someone truly take care of their family, there's nothing better than that. That feeling and the really just the ability to make just enough in this first moment, so that way you could spend more time with those that matter the most to you. So I guess my question to you is, what do you want more? Time, or to hold on to a measly $1,995? I mean, talking about that, I actually need to check something for a second. I want to update you guys on the number of spots left for the 4-day boot camp. So let me grab my phone. And I feel like I might be breaking a lot of hearts right now. Okay. 515 spots taken already. I'm messaging my team to keep me updated. Okay, so 515. There we go. So there we have it. That's the update. 515. So we have, what's that? A little over 515. So whatever, just over 380-ish left. So that's the update. We're at 515 spots taken. We only have 373 spots left. Look, these spots are going fast. If you do not want to miss out on this insane fast action bonus, make sure to take action right now while there are still some spots. So go to joineman.com right now, or just click the link pinned in the live chat and complete your enrollment. Don't leave it for later or you will miss out. Actually, in fact, I want to show you a few things about what you get inside when you enroll today. So, Ole, can you go ahead and pull up my computer screen so I can show them all of the stuff that they get inside when they enroll? All right. Look, let me ask you this. What will it cost you to not get inside of this? Let that truly sink in. I know for a fact that you're going to run the risk of never being able to get inside at this incredible discount once we close the doors. What else do you miss out on when you don't join today? Well, the opportunity for the first time ever to detach your income from your time, how much you make from how much you work. And that's because one of the very first videos you see when you're inside is how to set up a simple system that delivers your digital product for you 24/7. This essentially turns your AI digital product into a set and forget machine. How much easier would it be for you to double, quadruple, or even 10x your income if the work to fulfill on 10 or 10,000 customers was exactly the same? That's exactly what you're going to learn how to do. This is the exact reason why so many people like Zada managed to create an online income with AI digital products, even while taking care of 2 young kids in the process. In fact, I want to show you a video of her story and experience with Monetize, so that way you don't have to take my word for it. You can hear directly from her.
I'm Azada. I'm a mom of 2 kids, 2 boys, aged 5 and 1. I'm an accountant, but I stopped working a while ago when I had my second son. After I had kids, I realized, like, oh my God, I hate my job. I don't want to be doing this forever. It takes up so much of my time. I'll be seeing my kids like 1 or 2 hours a day, and it's just definitely not what I wanted to do. So I tried a lot of things. I tried drop shipping. I tried digital marketing, but I wouldn't really say that I had prior experience or results. With all other courses, I felt like I needed to know absolutely everything to get started. But with Monetize, I just felt this confidence that I just need to start. I have a monthly income coming from this. It's just one ebook. It's 30 euros.
Roughly per month, like how much are you taking home?
Yeah, so it's between 6,000 to 8,000. There's not really much work to do. Like at the moment, I answer emails.
How quickly did it scale? Was it basically from the start?
First month, we did like 11K, I think it was. My kids go to sleep early, so the best time for me to work is in the evening, so you don't need 10 hours a day. You can do it whenever it fits your day. I think it's really important to just get started. Usually people think it takes a lot more time than what it actually does. And yeah, I think just getting started, and also getting started without knowing everything. I'm supposed to be going back to my job in September. It's still very unclear because obviously I would rather be doing this. I would always choose this over being an assistant.
Incredible. And look, Zada is not the only one finding great success with AI digital products while having a full-time occupation. In fact, most of our clients do this on the side of their main job. Take Ben from New Zealand, who's now consistently earning $3,000 a month from his digital product while still working full-time at his charities. Every single one of these people started exactly where you are. 0 experience, full-time responsibilities. The only thing they had, or the only thing they had was the decision to start, and a system that did the heavy lifting for them. If they can do it, you can do it too. Based on thousands of verified results, you can do it. This system that you will learn on this system that you'll learn how to implement in this class is what allows you to actually enjoy the income from your digital product instead of becoming a slave to it. After all, what's the point of making all of this money if you're chained to your work all day? However, I want to make this very clear. This is not a get rich quick overnight gimmick, okay? This is more of a be patient and follow the rules we laid out and reap the rewards along the way. Now, it does require a little effort in the beginning to get your AI digital products set up and familiarize yourself with a few of the tools. If you think that you can do this without dedication and patience, I'm sorry, but you are not qualified to join us at joineman.com. But for those of you guys who know for a fact that you can easily follow instructions and allow the AI to do the heavy lifting for you, I invite you to come and enroll right now before the spots run out at joineman.com. In short, you are going to lose the opportunity to join once we close down this special deal, and the window of opportunity to change your life will disappear with it. And listen, you're getting complete unrestricted access to Monetize, Synthesize AI, plus all of the add-ons such as Digital Product Formula, Monetize Mania, the 4-day bootcamp, and the perfect product insurance policy. You can log in whenever you want, a month from now or 2 years from now. So I'll get an update from the team in just a second. I know you guys are desperate to know. Look, we have so many of these here, but I say so many. I mean, by the time now what was it, 300, over 350, something like that, are already gone, confirmed from the team. I mean, I'll find out what the rest is now. There's 888 of them in here, and we probably have about maybe this stack more, so about 300-ish more. All right. As I said, I'll get a confirmation from the team in just a second. Look, I know exactly what's going through your head right now. You're not thinking about the price. You're not thinking about the product. You're thinking, I understand the system works. I see how and why it worked for everyone you've shown me so far, but I'm different. I'm not sure I have what it takes to apply the system and see actual results in practice. What if I'm the one person that this doesn't work for? Okay. And listen, that's a completely valid thought. I'd be thinking the same thing if I were you. So let's talk about it. Okay. Here's something that no one tells you about making a decision like this. Your brain is literally wired to keep you exactly where you are right now. It's not a character flaw, it's biology. Think about it. Your brain is literally wired to keep you exactly where you are right now, okay? You never have to remind yourself to breathe. Okay? You never have to remind yourself to blink. Those are automated systems running in the background, keeping everything the same. That same system is what's telling you right now, don't change, stay safe, stay familiar. I felt that exact resistance when I decided I was dropping out of school. Not because I was lazy, but because I don't know how to explain it other than I could see that what I was building was real, okay? And that the classroom was keeping me from the thing that was actually going to change my life. The problem was, in my situation, was my mother. Okay, you have to understand what that meant to her. She had worked jobs that she hated her entire life to give me the one thing that she believed would protect me from that kind of struggle: education. It wasn't just important to her. It was the entire point of every sacrifice that she had ever made. And when I told her, the look on her face almost broke me. Not anger. It was way worse. It was the fear of a mother watching her child walk away from everything that she had dedicated her entire life to. And also, there was so much fear from her end that I was actually going to walk into everything that she'd spent her entire life and my whole childhood trying to protect me from. Okay? And look, if I'm going to be honest with you here, that moment hurt me so much that I actually almost did back down. And not because I stopped believing in what I was doing, but because her fear was almost heavier than my certainty. That's how bad it was. Her fear almost overrid my certainty. But I made the decision anyway. In that moment, I made a decision that I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to put myself first, so that way, for the rest of my life, I can be selfless. I had to be selfish in the short term to be selfless for the rest of my life. And look, I don't need to get into too much. I'm sure you guys understand. My mom has lived an incredible life since then, and every single thing that I ever promised her. I made so many promises to her, and I made good on every single one of those promises. It was just a few years later, I was literally sitting across from her, okay, from the same woman, and I told her that she never had to work again. Okay? That moment, the one where I almost didn't do it, is the closest thing I ever came to a version of my life where none of this exists. The resistance you're feeling right now is the same thing. It's not a sign that you shouldn't do it. It's a sign that this decision is real enough to matter. The people on that leaderboard felt the exact same resistance. Every single one of them. The only difference is that they clicked the button anyway. And here's the part that really gets under my skin. It's not just your brain fighting you. It's the people around you. Have you ever noticed that when you start to change, even in a positive way, the people closest to you, they start to push back? Your friends say, you know what, you're not the same anymore. You only care about this business stuff. That's not going to take you anywhere. Or your partner says, I can't believe you're going to waste money on that, and believes this internet money thing isn't true. Or even the ones closest to you that should be the ones rooting for you, telling you that you should go to university or get a real job and stop wasting your time with this. How many of those professors have real world experience? Or are they simply reading from a book? How many people are you learning from universities that have never actually done the thing that they're teaching? It's the blind leading the blind. And I want you to think about something honestly right now. The people giving you advice on this, how much money are they making? You're taking financial advice from people who don't know anything about making money, okay? Think about that for a second. because you wouldn't want to take advice from someone who's never been to a gym. So why are you letting people who have never built anything online talk you out of this? Now, I know some of you are sat here right now and you're thinking, well, I just don't have the confidence to do this. Let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. How confident are you in the statement that you have no confidence? Because if you're confident that you lack confidence, you just proved that you can be confident. It's just you're pointing it at the wrong thing. So I want you to take this same confidence that you've just proven to yourself that you can have and point it at joineman.com and click the button to join us. And by the way, talking about confidence, you might be looking at me and see how confident I am. And you might be thinking, well, you know what? That's easy for you to say, okay? It's easy for you to have all this confidence when you have that much success. And you are completely right in saying that. Because the truth is, I was not always as confident. And I can tell you this, okay? I could tell you this and expect for you to believe me, or I could simply show it to you. Because my entire journey has been recorded. So I prepared a quick 1-minute video to show you how I looked just a few short years ago when I was in your position. People ask me, Eman, don't you get embarrassed while you're walking with a camera in front of your face? And the quite simple answer is yes, I do. When I used to look at all these YouTubers, I would think, how long does putting together a couple clips take? This vlogging thing's harder than I thought. Let me just be honest with you, I'm very negative. I make excuses a lot. I'm very lazy. I'm not very clever. I don't retain information very easily.
I'll be honest, this is maybe the third day I've vlogged and I'm still nowhere near what I want my video production to be and what I want my videos to look like. There really is just quite a distance to go before I reach that place. Whenever you put yourself out there, you have to expect that you're gonna get criticized, laughed at. People are gonna think you're stupid, or they're pretty much gonna taunt you. But don't give people that right.
Look, as you can see, I definitely wasn't the most confident when I got started. I need you to take this in. When you look at a hero, and it's been a 10-year journey to get to this point. It's been a multi-year journey to get to this point. When you look yourself in the mirror today, I need you to see a hero. But when you go watch these movies about heroes, do you get 2 hours into a movie and you can see the hero being the hero? Or do you start at the beginning? Okay, where in any story, they have to take a hero's journey. There's ups and there's down, and there's that moment where they have to go, you know what, like, I just have to take blind action. Okay, and that is exactly what you saw. I was never scared to take the next step because the truth is, scared money doesn't make money. And scared people don't build the life that they want. And you are still here, okay? I mean, look, you've been here about, what, a few hours across 2 episodes? And if you're a VIP, it's almost double that. And that tells me something about you. That tells me you are not here because you love watching videos. You are here because you are tired. You are tired of being on the wrong side of the equation. You are tired of watching other people make moves while you stay in place. You are tired of telling yourself you'll figure it out eventually, while eventually it keeps moving farther and farther away. That tiredness is not weakness. It is the most honest signal that you can send to yourself that the current situation is no longer acceptable and that you are ready to change it now. Look, I want you to head over to joineman.com right now. The link is in the pinned comment. Now, I've been talking a lot about feelings, fears, and futures. Now let's talk about numbers for a second. Because, look, for some of you, the math is what you need. There are 3 costs to every decision you make: money, time, and mental energy. Money is the least important of those 3. I mean, just think about the time that you've lost because you're stuck in this endless loop of trying to figure out how to do this. We both know that lost time adds up quickly. The countless hours spent watching videos that promised the world but delivered nothing. The sleepless nights putting your body and mind through tortures trying to learn ChatGPT just to end up with nothing to show for it. Maybe it was drop shipping, maybe it was trading, perhaps even affiliate marketing. You sit there and convince yourself to put the effort forward simply to quit right before you strike gold. The thing is, the most precious thing you cannot buy. The one thing that all of us have in common, we are all truly on borrowed time. With each second that passes, our light becomes dimmer and dimmer. Time you could have spent with the ones that, unfortunately, I hate to say it and I hate to take it to that place, but let's be honest. The people we love most, okay, they're not going to be with us forever. Time that only counts, okay, or I should say the time that from when you take that first breath only goes down. Look, if you want to change, you need to initiate change. Change doesn't just happen. It is an outcome of the correct actions that you take. Everything you've been doing up until this very moment, has it been correct? Or have you simply been wasting your time in that endless loop that always ends the same way for you? There is a famous quote that goes, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. Not to mention the toll that it takes on your mental health, the weight that you carry, the burden you constantly feel that follows you like a dark cloud because you know that people depend on you. Yet, nothing changes because you don't change. You know that feeling when you get a little bit of money that comes into your bank account, then almost like magic, you see it going down and down and down, a few hundred, then less, $50, $100, or $100, $50, all leaving your account with $0 coming in. Okay? Look, you can't order food. There's no money in your account. And the thing is, you don't want to ask for help. You feel ashamed. And this vicious cycle has a suffocating hold on you. And I want to be the one to help you get to where you should be. No, not even where you should be, where you deserve to be. I hope you just saw from that clip right there. I didn't start off as a hero, right? And by the way, every hero has its flaws. Not to say I'm perfect in any way. That's one of my favorite parts about me, that I've been documenting my journey for 10 years. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, and I've been transparent, and everything that I've ever done has been documented and proven. But I now have gone to a point where, you know, I look in the mirror and I'm really proud of myself. And, you know, I'm very, and most importantly, my family and my loved ones. It's funny because, like, I'll just keep it like 100% with you. Like, when I say my family, like, it's really just me and my mom. Like, she didn't support me at all when I first started. And by the way, like, I don't want to say that in like any bad way, because my mom has always loved me. In fact, her not supporting me was her showing love. And I think that's what you need to understand. The people that you love the most, when they're telling you don't do this or stay in your box or stay in your lane or blah, blah, all this stuff, that's them trying to protect you. Okay, that's them maybe being, you know, they had a thing in the past that didn't work, and that's them projecting onto you. So they're not doing it in any sort of bad way, but you just need to be selfish. You need to listen to you. You got to block out the outside noise. You need to listen to you. You need to be selfish in the moment so you can be selfless for the rest of your life. So as I said, I want to help you get to where you should be, where you deserve to be. Listen, I'm not promising you the world. However, I am promising you the gift of being able to start fresh and finally put an end to this devastating loop that you've been trapped in. And I want to help you grow who you are as a person, help you grow and shape your entire life trajectory from where it is now and catapult it to where you dream of being. And most importantly, grow your bank account and become financially free. You don't need to sit and be hungry because you don't have enough money to get food for yourself, okay? I want you to sit there and be hungry for more success and growth, because the road you're about to walk down is one that will actually go ahead and lift all of that weight off of your shoulders. Make those burdens seem like blessings and make everyone proud of you. Most importantly, make you proud of yourself. Look, I have some more stuff that I want to show on screen. Ole, if you could pull up my presentation. And I promise I'm going to get an update in just a second. I just feel like I'm in flow. All right. So, you know, there's just like a lot of stuff that I want to get off my mind, in all honesty. So I promise I will check in on the 808 anyways. Either way, Ole has an instruction. He has it's a this sign. So it's still available. I'll let you know once it fully runs out. Either way, Ole hits me with one of those signs when they're out. So we do have spaces left. I will check how many. I'm assuming they're coming close to end now. Look, I want to go ahead and address some of the questions still running through your head. Number one, how fast will I be able to see returns? This is one of my favorite questions because it's so incorrectly asked by so many people. How so? Well, you could start earning as early as tomorrow. However, those earnings may not be extremely massive. Rather, okay, I much prefer to tell people that the long-term game is what we want to focus on. We want to earn well and consistently without having to be active day to day. The next question we get is it, Iman, is it easy to set everything up, or do I need any technical skills? Now, I love this one because I tell people the story of Ryan. Ryan comes from a very small town. All he saw on a daily basis were old trucks and farm animals. It took him 6 years from first attempting entrepreneurship to earn his first dollar. Now, he's consistently at 4K a month. So to answer your question, Ryan, who has no technical background when it comes to AI, can go ahead and figure this out all through the power of our help. Then if Ryan can do it, I guarantee that I can help anybody listening to me right now do the same thing. And for the greatest question of them all, is this guaranteed to work? And let me be honest. Look, legally, I can't tell you this is guaranteed because the only thing in life that are guaranteed are death and taxes. However, what I can tell you is that we've seen some incredible success and our clients have been highly successful, as you can see throughout this presentation. Because, look, what we do is we follow a very strict formula, okay? And you can get access to that and join immediately by going to joiniman.com. Now, I have something cool for you, okay? We really wanted to ensure that you are 100% covered today. So we're doing something insane. For those of you guys who are still on the sidelines waiting to see if there are any extra goodies that we can give you, well, you're in a lot of luck today. Just for this challenge, we really wanted to make it a no-brainer. So I decided to put together a package like no other on the market. For those who get inside of joiniman.com tonight, before the workshop expires, you're going to get access to 3 extra bonuses that have never been released together before, starting with dedicated support. One thing that I hate personally is when I purchase a program, I get access to a platform and that's it. I'm left alone there trying to figure out things on my own as if I'm just some number on their system. I'm sure you've experienced something similar before, and that's actually why I created this exclusive dedicated support line for you inside of Monetize. We will ensure that you are never left in the dark. Just like Kamula, who said, our objective with this is to ensure that you can't fail unless you stop trying. Or as Quintum said, the only way to fail is if you give up. We have multiple Q&A calls where or weekly Q&A calls where you can get any of your questions answered on any topic you might be struggling with, like product creation, choosing a topic, using the AI software, or something as simple as, hey, what should I do next? We have our success team actively answering questions inside of the community and giving you support throughout your entire journey, so that way you are never alone. In fact, as soon as you sign up right now, the first thing that you're going to see inside when you join is that we are hosting a welcome call right now with Rebecca from our success team, where she is onboarding everyone and making sure you know exactly where to access all of the insane deliverables that you get inside of Monetize. When you join Monetize today, you're also getting entry to Monetize Mania. This is a 90-day competition that generated the $8.9 million and the $15 million in results that I've been talking about. And this time around, not only the people who end up in the top 10 will get some insane prizes, but actually the entire top 20 will, doubling your chances of winning this competition. And the 20 winners will get an exclusive invitation-only one-day in-person mastermind at one of our offices. For those of you guys who aren't aware, and by the way, I don't even know if I mentioned this, Consultant.com, we're actually the smallest we've been in a while, but we have 70 people full-time at the company. We're a massive company. The company was established 10 years ago. I actually bought it last year and merged it with one of our other companies. And we have a beautiful office. We actually have a couple across the world throughout the businesses. So it'll be at one of our offices. You'll find out about that very, very soon. There are dozens of people who will pay tens of thousands of dollars to get a seat in this room to listen to the trade secrets that are shared behind these doors. But we don't accept any paying client into this, okay? Your only way to get a spot is through the Monetize Mania competition that you are now getting free entry with your Monetize enrollment today. With this, you're going to get a chance to be a part of the exclusive group of people that will generate the biggest profits we've seen yet. Not over 2 years, not over 1 year, but in the next 90 days. 90 days, okay? That's all it takes to completely change your life and your finances. Exactly like what happened with dozens of our previous winners. Now, I actually have one other huge bonus that you're going to get access to. I have made a massive investment out of my own pocket to make this bonus available to you. In fact, I've paid $751,000 to date, to be precise. Okay, here are the screenshots. And it's going to be one of the hardest parts, it's going to make one of the hardest parts of this business become the easiest. It is an insane AI software that complements Synthesize AI, making it insanely easy for you to start making your first dollars from your AI digital products. But you have to use it in order to truly experience it. So once you use it alongside Synthesize, this is going to completely change the game for you. And that is why I'm only going to show you when you get inside of the members area. And once you do, you will be able to understand what I'm talking about here. And by the way, if you wanted to access this by itself, you would have to pay $2,999 for it. You get access to all of this that you see on your screen right now. And by the way, let's not forget, you are covered with our work with you until you win guarantee, which means that whatever happens, we are going to keep having your back, and we're going to be with you this entire journey until you make at least a 10x return on your investment. Look, the total value is over $17,000. And as I've said before, there's no other system out there like ours that's producing better results. Why is that? Well, it's because we have our own formulas and proprietary AI technology that we have developed and refined over and over again. And now you have the chance to get your hands on. If you are ready to enroll, then simply go to joineman.com and secure your access now. And the best part about this industry is that everyone wins. Now, you might be wondering, okay, what do you mean by that? What I mean is that there's so much money being thrown into the space, and there's so much to go around. Again, this industry is predicted to vastly outgrow music, film, and television, as well as the fashion retail industry, and become as big as the global sports industry by 2027. The only differentiating factor is whether you know how to claim a part of these profits. And as it happens, we are the keys to the kingdom to unlock and share with you the insights in the system that will allow you to be a part of this astronomical growth that all the researchers are talking about. Do not be left out. You want to be the one using AI, not being replaced by AI. As I said, I am very blunt, and I don't wish for you to get replaced by the smart individuals who took action on this. I want you to be the one taking advantage of AI and joining this explosive industry before this becomes mainstream and completely inaccessible for the average person. Believe me, I have missed out on my fair share of insane opportunities, and that is what I want to prevent from happening with you. You see, I'll actually tell you a funny story. You see, a few years ago, a CEO approached me, or I guess it's many years ago at this point, a client of mine at the time, okay? So they were a client of mine, and basically they gave me a choice. Take my standard cash retainer or take the equivalent value in company stock. This is what, like 8 years ago at this point. Now, what do you think I did? I was foolish and I took the cash, okay? Now that company is known today as Oura Ring. That stock would have paid me the equivalent of $2 million a month. I worked with them for 9 months. That is a $18 million decision I got wrong by taking the short-term cash instead of the long-term opportunity, okay? And the worst part is, it wasn't because I was dumb. It was because I was short-sighted. I didn't have anyone to show me what was actually in front of me. That's exactly what I don't want for you right now. Trust me, it hurts when I think about this decision, okay? My lesson out of all of this, sometimes we have this tendency of trying to grab onto a small amount in the grand scheme of things because we don't want to miss out on the immediate cash. And that is the very thing that causes us to miss out on life-changing generational return opportunity in the long term. So believe me, it's not fun to be left out of this because of a short-sighted decision that you've taken. So please go ahead and make that decision now at joineman.com. And by the way, let's not forget what you're getting access to inside of Monetize. Synthesize AI, our specialized AI that effortlessly builds your entire AI digital product for you, allowing you to rapidly start seeing profits roll in, even if you're a complete beginner. Digital product formula, the exact same blueprint used by every single person that ended up in this leaderboard the last 2 times I hosted this challenge. Ask Eman, my own AI trained on all my strategies, frameworks, and content to answer any questions exactly as I would, allowing you to ask me as many questions as you want at any time. Like, this one's crazy, by the way, because like I've had some of our super high-end enterprise clients, like this happened once. We had a client that pays us $250,000 a year, one of our enterprise clients at Quantum. And I was like, he asked me a question and I wasn't able to respond because time zones I was actually flying. And it just answered flawlessly, perfect. And this is like a super like, this is only something I would be able to answer, right? And it's so funny. Like, he actually messaged me back and he's like, oh, never mind. I just asked D-Man. And I was like, yo, this is so cool. So if you want me as your mentor 24/7, if you want me literally as if I was sat there on the desk with you, that's what this is for, okay? You will never have to worry about getting stuck or having no one to seek for help or not being able to seek help from anywhere. Next, you have the perfect product insurance policy to give you the peace of mind that even if you don't make a single dime in your first 60 days, our team will have your back and personally step in, personally give you a diagnostics report. I hope you understand how insane that is. I'm saying, like, do you understand how many people we have to hire in our company to be able to offer something like this? Like, do you understand the level of thought process that a consulting company has to actually provide to go, you know what? We don't want any stragglers. We don't want any people left behind. Okay, so if after 60 days, that's enough time that, you know, there's actually, it's not an effort thing, like there's actually something wrong and we need to come in and tweak a few things. This has been the fights that I had with my COO about this, because he's like, bro, we're going to have to spend, six figures plus per month in order just to offer this, as well as the hours and hours and hours and hours that goes into it. So I had a long fight with him actually about this, to actually make this possible for you guys. And you're also going to get our 4-day digital product bootcamp, which is your chance to work side along me live during the 4 days as we build your first AI digital product together. And by the way, Ole still hasn't given me one of these, so I'm going to, I'll check in a bit. But once he gives me one of these, then we'll be gone. But I'm assuming now probably it must be, 200 or something like that? I'll check in a second. Plus, you're going to get the dedicated support. You're also going to get an entry into Monetize Mania, our 90-day competition that's generated a total of $23 million in its last 2 editions, as well as the $2,999 unannounced bonus, adding up to a total value of $17,000, which you can get instant access to when you go to joineman.com. You can click the link in the live chat or in the description of this video. You can get access to all of this that you see on your screen right now. Now, here's exactly what happens after you click the link. You're going to be redirected to a monetized page that looks like this, where you have all of the information that you might need about this offer. All you need to do here is click the yellow button that says Get Access Now. You're going to be redirected to WAP, the platform I co-own and where we process everything. And I need to be clear about something here. I don't just recommend WAP to my clients. I'm the primary user of WAP. So when you land on that checkout page, you're going to fill in your details, name, email, payment information. You can choose to pay in full or use financing if you need it. You're going to hit join. The transaction processes instantly, and you're going to get redirected to a confirmation page with a video where I'm going to walk you through the instructions on how to actually access everything you get as a client of Monetize. It is crucial that you do not skip that video and watch it in its entirety. Once you log in, everything is waiting for you inside, all of it right there, instant access. And here's what makes this even easier. The interface is incredibly intuitive. Everything is organized, everything is clear. You don't need to be tech savvy to figure it out. It is designed for people who want to execute, not people who want to spend hours learning how to navigate things. Plus, remember, our support team is active inside the community 24/7. If you have any questions, technical, strategic, whatever, just ask. Someone will respond within hours, sometimes even minutes. You are not alone in this. The moment you join, you have an entire team and community backing you up. So the process is simple. Click the link, complete the checkout, and get instant access. I am going to get an update from my team on how many are left. Okay, so I've just asked. While we wait, I'll move on. Log in, begin exploring, start executing, and if you have any problems while checking out, keep an eye on your WhatsApp, okay? My team is actually going to be on standby, and they're going to reach out to you there and help you with any issues. Now, I want to be very, very, very clear about something. Well, if you can just pull me up full screen again. And, well, my team must be busy. Let's see. Yeah, I'll wait. It should come through in just a second. Oh, typing. There we go. So as I said, guys, we have 888, and now we are about to surpass, once my team tells me, This is one of the issues when you do things live. Things don't always go to plan. All right, cool. Let me take a swig of water. Fuck, I hope he doesn't say it's out. There we go. All right, so they are going to get it to me in just a second. Look, I want to discuss something that has nothing to do with money right now. I want to have a serious talk with you, okay? While we're waiting for that. And if you're on another tab or doing something else right now, you might want to listen closely, because at this point, this isn't about the minuscule little enrollment cost of $1,995. It's not about the payment plans. It's not about any guarantees. This is about you and who you decide to be starting today, starting now. Let me make one thing very clear. Most of you on this live call are scared because this is something new, okay? As humans, we are inherently scared of the unknown, and I understand that. And honestly, I can't blame you for being scared of your hard-earned money being on the line, okay? So that's why we have our AI system to do all of the heavy work for you. I have one goal for those of you who join us at Monetize today, and that is for you to sit back and do the bare minimum. I know that's crazy, okay? I remember my mom telling me when I was in school that doing the bare minimum just to get by would get me yelled at, and rightfully so, okay? However, I'm not going to yell at you for doing the bare minimum, because that's actually what I want you to do, okay? I want you to let the AI handle the entire setup from A to Z. So that way you can have peace of mind knowing that all you have to do is just trust the AI. You don't ever need to trust yourself to get this right. Just think about how difficult it would be to not profit with my team and I behind you every single step of the way. Not to mention our revolutionary AI suite of money-making tools that do all of the heavy lifting for you, allowing you to skip that time-consuming learning curve that others without my systems would have to go through. Here's something I noticed after building a $100 million company and witnessing thousands of people come through our programs and become wildly successful. They all started from zero. Same starting point, same nothing in their pocket. The difference between people who succeed and the people who remain stuck, it's not talent, it's not connection, it's not some gift that you were born with. I have a very close friend of mine who's a very successful investor. And he told me something that I actually think about constantly. He said, most people lose before they even start because they never actually start. And that's stuck with me because I see it every single day. Look, life works like a game, okay? And it comes down to those who decide to start and hit play, and those who sit on the menus, scrolling constantly, going through the options, reading about it, watching other people do it, convincing yourself that you need to learn more before you start. And one day you realize it's too late. You just spend years wasting time preparing to play a game that you never even started. Then the curtains close and your time here is over and you have nothing to show for it. Let me say this very bluntly. And if this makes you feel a certain way, it's because your subconscious is relentlessly begging you to become the person you know you can become, not the person who stares back at you in the mirror with disappointment. You are smart enough to see what the AI is about to do. While everyone else is still pretending it's not happening, here, let me say this bluntly. You know the unfathomable opportunities AI offers. You know that we've made it nearly impossible for you to not see profits. And you know that we have covered you completely. And if you still decide to wait on the sidelines, then I hate to say it, but what does that say about you? You are essentially saying that you aren't worth more than the tiny investment that it would take to join us, as well as all of the other smart people who jumped into Monetize by going to joineman.com. And those of you who have taken the leap of faith and jumped right in, just know you are doing exactly what one of my most successful friends said. You hit play. You're leveling up, okay? Or what's your other option? You stay stuck in your old ways, the old habits, the old cycles, no change. That's on you, and you have to live with that burden. I'll be honest, in 100 years, no one will remember your name unless you do something extraordinary right now. Look, I'm not saying that you're going to become the hero of your story today or next week or next month, exactly like I played the video of myself. It took a while to get there, but you have to take that first step, okay? Just think about it. And this is painful for me to even say. You don't want to be in a scenario or a world where even your grandchildren don't remember that you existed, okay? You're going to be completely erased from history as if you never lived at all. AI is here to stay, just like me and my $100 million company. AI isn't going anywhere anytime soon. AI is going to outlive me. It's going to outlive you. And this will be your final window of opportunity to build real generational wealth this early. Most people are too afraid to admit to themselves how insignificant they truly are. No one wants to face that reality, but deep down, many people know that if they just had money, they could help their mom with the bills, or put their children, their nieces, their nephews through school. But no, they distract themselves by binge watching Netflix, doom scrolling TikTok, living in what they think is comfort until they realize that Father Time has come to visit them. Then that's it. They die without a trace. And look, I know that might come across super heavy, but it's just something that I wanted to like really make you aware of and really bring your attention to. As I said, like, I'm not expecting you to become a hero of your own journey today or tomorrow or next week. It takes time, but you have to take that first step. That's exactly why I told you, and that's exactly why I played that video, to make it clear, like, this wasn't an overnight thing. It takes time, okay? But you have to take that first step. Look, I'm going to pull up my presentation again here, and in a second, I'll let you know how many people we still have left available for the 888. But I really want to make it clear, the money you invest today is the smallest part of this decision. The time and energy you've already spent is worth far more, and monetize is how you finally stop burning both. So head over to joineman.com right now and make that investment in yourself. The link is in the pinned comment. Let me ask you something real. The money sitting in your bank account right now, is it going to grow in the next 90 days just sitting there? Look, it's not about how much money you have. It's about what you do with the money you have. You can keep it sitting there doing nothing, and 90 days from now, it'll be the same number or less because life happens. Or you can put it to work inside a system that's generated 23.9 million for people just like you. The math isn't complicated. $1,995 to access a system that's produced $23.9 million in tracked earnings. The numbers speak for themselves. So head over to joineman.com right now. The link is in the pinned comment. Now, what I'm generously allowing you to access at joineman.com for the last time ever is way more than just our AI suite, the hand-holding training, and the support to ensure your success. No, my friend. What I'm truly giving you access to is the ability to build an additional income stream with a little time that you have. And not only that, I'm going to remove all the hurdles you would have to face if you were to attempt this on your own. Just like Jana, who got into this while taking care of client tax returns, working with short deadlines, and still getting into digital products. On top of all of that, she's truly working to change her life. So what's your excuse? Head over to joineman.com and join the winning side. Look, I already told you, I'm selfish. I need you to profit so that way I can build WAP into a $100 billion company. But now, I have to ask you something. Are you selfish enough to bet on yourself? Are you selfish enough to say my future matters more than my comfort zone right now? We have been told that being selfish and only caring about yourself is bad. The truth is, selfishness is like a weapon. It could be used for good and it can be used for bad. But being selfish is an art. Being selfish with your time, being selfish with your finances, being selfish with who you will marry. Is it selfish that I want to become wealthy so that way I could build more than 10 schools internationally? So that way I never had to worry about if I could keep the lights on or pay my bills at the end of each month? Is it selfish for you to want the same by putting yourself first? If you have ever traveled on a plane during the safety instructions, they always say one thing. They say, make sure to put your mask on before helping others. You know why? It's simple. How can you help others if you can't help yourself? Is that really selfish of you? It's not. But you know what it is? Denying yourself the freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want. That, my friend, is a decision, not a choice. Now, your chance to make the right decision. The most successful people I've ever met are selfish. Not selfish towards others, selfish towards their own potential. They decided that their future mattered more than anything. That saying yes to themselves was not arrogance. It was the most responsible decision they could make for themselves, for the people who depend on them, for the version of their life that's still possible if they just stop waiting for someone to give them permission to go and get it. Armando was selfish enough to bet on himself at 19 with no experience and no safety net. And now his parents don't have to work anymore. That is what the right kind of selfish looks like in practice. So I'll ask you again. Are you selfish enough to bet on yourself today? Are you selfish enough to say that your future matters more than the fears that's been making your decisions for you? Are you selfish enough to be the person that your circumstances have been trying to prevent you from becoming? Because if you are, I am waiting for you at joineman.com, and everything changes from there. Look, I want to speak off the cuff again and just get some more ideas off my mind after I have a swig of tea. I think at this point, you truly realize that this really, this really at this point isn't about the 1,995 anymore. Okay, this is about who you decide to be. So let me ask you this. What happens if you don't decide to join us today? Well, if nothing changes, well, then nothing changes. In order to see the change that you want in your life, you need to go ahead and be proactive to initiate change. If you are someone who enjoys sitting on the fence and watching others while you're on the sidelines, that's totally fine as well, okay? Because remember, every single event needs spectators from the sidelines cheering on the main stars. The main star needs to be and should be you. But only if you are one of the smart individuals that goes to joineman.com right now. Scared money doesn't make money, period. And scared people don't build the life that they want. And guys, don't get me wrong. I'm also a regular person. I feel scared sometimes too. Just recently, I invested $4 million in a campaign for one of my digital products where I would only know if the investment would pay off or if it was completely wasted 30 to 60 days after investing that, okay? It was not a safe little, invest a little, see how much you get in return and then invest a little bit more type of campaign. It was a full-blown either invest and trust it's going to work out or don't invest at all. And I had never invested $4 million in a campaign like that, okay? Not even close. Can you imagine how scary that felt for me to put $4 million up personally, okay, without getting anything in return? Look, when that happened, I also had that voice in the back of my head saying, and in fact, it wasn't really saying, it was more like screaming like, hey, what if this doesn't work? What if I lose all of this investment? Okay, what would you do in a situation like that? You have to take action when you're scared because the truth is your rewards are only as big as the risks you're willing to take. I took a big risk, probably the biggest I've ever taken, even though I was scared it might not work out. But because I was willing to take that big risk, I ended up having my most successful campaign ever. And that was last year. We broke all of the revenue records on WAP with it. And by the way, it still to this day is the record holding promotion. And that is what it takes to achieve great things. It takes risk, okay? Even or especially if you are scared. Now, luckily for you, it doesn't require you to invest $4 million to see if it's going to work out or not. It only takes a tiny fraction of that for you to try something with the potential to completely change your life. And I want to ask you a blunt question. Do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? Because I know a lot of people who are right about everything. They're right that it's risky. They're right that it might not work out. They're right that the economy is uncertain. They're right that AI might change. They have every single correct take on every single situation, and yet they're broke. And then I also know people who are wrong about a few hundred things. They picked wrong for every single one of their AI digital products the first time. They priced their product too high. They were wrong over and over and over again, but they kept going. And now they're financially free because they chose being rich over being right. So which group do you want to be in? I already told you earlier that I'm selfish. I need you to profit so that way I can build WAP into a $100 billion company. The more you make, the more money we make. I laid that out for you already, but now I'm going to flip that on you. Are you selfish enough to bet on yourself? Are you selfish enough to look at your current situation and say, my future matters more than my comfort zone right now? Are you selfish enough to tell the people around you who doubted you and do it anyway? Are you selfish enough to put yourself first for once instead of putting everyone else's opinions and everyone else's fear ahead of your own goals? Because that is what this is. This is a selfish act. Enrolling at joineman.com is you saying, I matter. I matter. My future matters. My family's future matters. And I am not going to let fear or comfort or other people's opinions rob me of what I know I'm capable of. I rarely share this with anyone. When I made that bold decision to quit my education and decide to go all in on building my online business, everyone in my life was against it. My friends, my teachers, even my own mother. I was told the same lies you probably hear. You're being irresponsible. What if it doesn't work out? It's not worth the risk. Looking back, as I said, they wanted the best for me. It was their way of trying to keep me safe. Why? Because that's all that they knew. But here's the thing. Even though I didn't have many people who believed in me, I believed in myself. I knew I had what it took. And I gave myself no other option. I went for it. I decided to take the risk that others were too afraid to take, against the noise, against all the advice from everyone. Just because they were afraid to take the risk didn't mean that I should be too. Now, of course, it was uncomfortable. Of course, people put doubts in my head. But remember, as I said, being selfish isn't bad when you're doing it for the right reasons. The fear of not giving it a valiant effort and giving up on your dreams was far more frightening than my fear of failure. Want a secret? Failing is growth. How do you learn without failing? It's like riding a bike. You're going to fall until you get it. but you can only fall so many times until you finally learn how to ride that bike. However, not trying is what real failure actually looks like. Look, I'll be the first to tell you this. You've been given gifts and talents that others weren't. By not learning how to develop them, you're not just failing yourself, you're failing those who also could have benefited from your success. Those that you love, those who never gave up on you. Being selfish by hesitating right now hurts more than just you. The thing is, you don't have to figure this all out on your own like I had to do, because joineman.com, when you go there right now and you secure your spot, that means that you have me and my team behind you. And I refuse to let you fail. Inside of our system, failure isn't part of the curriculum, nor is it in the agenda. But you know what is part of our system? Immediate access to the AI tools and trainings to start having money flowing into your bank account, even if it's a small side income or money beyond your wildest dreams. That really depends on you. My promise to you is that I won't let you fail, but I need you to promise me that you will believe in yourself, because we both know you can and will become successful. My selfishness allowed me to tell my mom that she never had to work another day in her life. Are you ready to be selfish so that way you can do the same thing for the people that you love? Don't let yourself be your worst enemy, because if you want to see change, you need to initiate change. Stop waiting on the side while everyone else rakes in life-changing income. Look, I'm going to pull up my screen here just a second. And, there's a few more things that I want to get into. I promise we'll, wrap up shortly, because, we're just getting started here. We have a lot more to go through. Now, first thing I want you to do is to go to joineman.com and secure your spot. Look, let's face it, another 90 days will slide by and you're going to watch people come in and out of this program and be wildly successful. However, because of where AI is moving right now, because of the window that's opening right now with digital products, you don't really have all the time in the world anymore. You can't simply sit around, because unfortunately time is not on your side. The people who got in on the last challenge are still making money from products they created in those first 90 days. That head start compounds. Every single day you wait, someone else is building what could have been yours. If you are tired of waiting for opportunities that seem to consistently keep passing you by, then I'm telling you right now, this is your chance to prevent the opportunity of a lifetime from slipping through your fingers. The real competition isn't other people. It's not other digital products. It's not other people in this challenge. The real competition is your future self versus your present self. And right now, your future self is watching you, waiting to see what you do. Would your future self be proud of where you are right now? I'm not talking about financially, rather the decisions you made up until this point. Ask yourself this important question. Are you currently living in a prison cell that you've created for yourself? Every single time you hesitate, you're just adding another bar to your prison cell, until one day there are too many bars and you are trapped. And by then, escaping is impossible. However, your future self has guided you here at this very moment in time. Think about the probability of being one of the billions of people on earth to be here live with me right now. That is not luck, my friend. That is fate. That is your future self who's not behind bars, telling you this is where everything changes for you. But the decision you make right now will dictate if you remain in your cell or not. And just remember, this is your last and final chance to get this with a 4-day bootcamp bonus before all the spots are gone and the doors close permanently. The keys to unlock your jail cell and enjoy your real freedom is inside of joineman.com. But you need to take action. Look, let me have a few more swigs of tea. And there's a couple more ideas and I guess a couple more things I want to bounce around with you. One thing that I want you to think about, and one thing that I really want you to ponder over, is, have you ever wondered what real freedom without any consequences holding you down truly feels like? No alarms blaring in your ear early in the morning, trying to signify that you have no choice but to follow a schedule that you have no control over. No more constantly checking the clock every minute, knowing you have to show up for that grueling job that you are grossly underpaid for doing. No more worrying if you'll have enough money to keep the lights on or pay rent. Heck, even feed yourself. Real freedom is being able to dictate what you do with your time, who you spend it with. Real freedom is the ability to travel anywhere in the world without having to ask for permission. Real freedom, most importantly, is when you can provide not just for yourself, but for the ones you love. That, my friends, is what real freedom is. The reality is, you are that person. You just haven't given yourself the permission to become that person. Who you were, who you are, and who you want to become are all different people. There are only 2 paths that you can travel down today. Look, I'm going to pull up my screen again here quick because I have some images to help you visualize what these 2 paths actually look like. Oh, if we could pull it up. Look, path one is the same one you've been on. The one where you are forced to follow someone else's rule. Someone else dictates what you do and when you do it. The path of complete resignation to the control you could have over your life. I call this path the hero's lost potential. But the thing is, there's actually another path. Path number 2. And I will admit, this one seems much scarier because the path is foggy. It's dark and lonesome. It's what I call the hero's freedom. Those who walk down this path take the chance that at the very end, okay, they have their promised freedom and glory. But they can't see it because the fog in front of them, it clouds their vision. The darkness is scary, but once you start walking down this path, the fog starts to clear, the sun starts to shine, the darkness turns to light, and at that very moment, you have realized the path you've decided to take, the one 99% of people fear to ever walk down, was your greatest gamble. Not the path itself, but rather the gamble in yourself to not turn back and take your chances because that promised freedom is now your reality. So, my final question for you, your future self is watching what path you decide to travel down because they know this moment will dictate everything for you and your future self. If you are ready to travel down path 2, the hero's freedom path, you are getting one last opportunity to do so. So let me ask you and think about it. What is the possible worst outcome? We have you completely covered because of our work with you until you win guarantee. Either you 10x your investment or my entire team holds your hand until you do. If you gave me $1 and I offered you $10 back, are you going to say no thanks? Of course not. What I'm offering you here today is the ability to use a system that has the potential to do exactly that, but only for the smart people who decide to take action by going to joineman.com. And you have to just ask yourself, what is the worst thing that could happen? Because with our work with you until you win guarantee, you either 10x your investment or we will keep working with you until you do. The only scenario where you lose money here is if you give up. And I am confident that you are not the type of person to give up easily. This isn't a purchase. This is a decision about who you are. So let me bring it back to the only question that matters. Are you someone who watches from the sidelines and cheers for the main stars, or are you ready to finally be the main star? Because the main star doesn't sit in the audience. The main star gets on the stage, and that stage is joineman.com. Listen, the decision is yours. It always has been. Just remember that in 90 days from now, when someone is posting their results from this exact challenge, someone who is sitting exactly where you're sitting right now, you will have to remind yourself that you also had the opportunity to be in their shoes and that you, yet again, let it slide right through your fingers. Unfortunately, you are going to have to be the one to live with that. But look, I'm here to give you a fair warning and ample time to get in before it's too late. So if you're ready to take the leap, because all of the risk is on us, then you know where to go, joineman.com. The link is pinned. You can go right now. Look, let's swap over to Bcam. I have a couple more thoughts. I'm enjoying myself a little too much. I'm free flowing. Look, at this point, I actually need to check on something, okay? And we are going to check in on the tech team. And sorry, guys, my messages weren't going through before. So finally, the messages came through. I've got it. And I can now confirm that we are almost at 800 already. To be precise, we are at 783. That means we have, let me do the quick math. That means we have 105 left. Okay? So 105 left for anyone who's interested. We have 100. I think that actually should be probably about this. Yeah. So out of all those, we have 888 in there. We have about these many left. So 105 left. And yeah, let's see. I'm enjoying myself. So let's keep riffing and I'll keep running and let's see, maybe we end up running out by the time the stream ends. But of course, I've got Ole over there and he's going to hit me with one of these when they run out. So 105 left. Look, when these spots are gone, this bonus disappears from this page, period. Okay? There's never going to be a mention of it anymore. So if you go to joineman.com right now and you still see the bootcamp on the page, congratulations, you can still get it. If you go there and it's gone, I'm sorry, but I did give you fair warning. And listen, I know some of you right now are thinking that I'm saying this just to create pressure, but no, there is a very real reason that we have to close this. We can't keep enrolling people forever. At some point, we have to stop taking on new members and shift to actually coaching the people who are already inside. Listen, I want to be transparent with you. I've only shared this system publicly twice in my life, and I have no plans on releasing this to the public again for the foreseeable future. Once we close our doors, they are closed for good. There is a deep reason for that, and I want to tell you why. I could make millions of dollars every single year if I left the door open for anyone to join, but I don't. Think about it. Why would I close this incredible offer down when I could leave it open and make millions of dollars a year from it? Let me explain. Every time I reopen the doors, I make a firm commitment to myself that the smart and brave people who join during this minuscule enrollment window will do everything. I will do everything and more in my power to ensure you get results. I make that commitment to myself, and my team makes that commitment to themselves to finally give you the unfair advantage that you've been seeking, allowing you to build a passive and reliable stream of income that will help you reclaim your life and, most importantly, your time. Look, I want to make it very, very clear. I am in no way, shape, form, or fashion promising you that you'll be a millionaire by tomorrow. What I'm promising is that together with my team and I, that journey will begin. I'll reveal how you can build income streams using AI from zero, no matter the experience you have, no matter the time you have, and no matter if you've never used AI before. That wasn't good enough for me. You see, I knew that showing you what to do wasn't good enough. I'm handing everything you need and more. But to make my commitment a reality, I'm going to ensure that my team and I work with you until you win, period. The truth is, the doors for enrollment are open for an extremely small time because we simply cannot let everyone in due to the manpower and resources I'm putting forth to make my commitment come to life. My team and I only have so much time in the day. And I want to make sure that we can cater to your needs. And leaving this open forever would be physically impossible to work with everyone. In order to ensure success for those who join, I must set a hard limit, or else I will fail the commitment that I made to myself. I've yet to fail, by the way, and I don't plan to start now. I'm going to say this to you straightforward. The people who get in now have a 90-day head start, and that advantage compounds. Once you acquire customers, nobody can undo those customers. Once you have momentum, it becomes harder to not make money than it does to make money. Ready to hear something that will blow your mind? Those first movers that seize this opportunity when I open the doors for 1.0 and 2.0, many of them are still making money every single day from what they built with our AI system months and last year. Think about this for a second. Remember, I shared the aggregate, the total earnings made by our clients in the first 90 days. Well, my friend, it's been far beyond 90 days. So you can only imagine how much more money they've been profiting since then. But here's something you need to understand. Being this early and one of the early pioneers of this market allows you to reap the rewards before anyone else. And not only that, you set this up one time and that's it forever, generating real income. Okay. Remember, you, by doing this, are removing those financial burdens that once used to weigh you down and allowing you to control your life once again. So that way you can reclaim the time you've lost. And the best part is, once you have customers, they are yours. Nobody can take them away from you. And not only that, those customers will keep coming back over and over and over. Our system is designed so that way your products get pushed to more customers with their credit card in hand, ready to purchase what you have to offer. Completely hands-free because the AI tools are doing majority of the heavy lifting for you, allowing you to make money while you're enjoying your life. You can be traveling the world and the AI will still be making money for you. You can be spending time with your parents, children, grandchildren. It doesn't matter what you do with your time. The fact is you now have control over it because the AI is doing majority of the heavy lifting on your behalf. Look, if you don't see the potential that this could unlock for you by now, this might not be for you. But for those who see how your life would completely change, I'm simply asking you for one thing. Get off the sidelines, okay? Stop watching everyone else get rich. Stop wishing that you could do the same. Stop thinking you don't have the same opportunity as others. Instead, realize that everyone else doesn't have the opportunity that you do. You are the real winner here. Ole, if you could pull up my slides again. Look. Heed my warning, okay? In 90 days from now, when this once in a lifetime opportunity is gone, you're going to see the millions of dollars that were made from those who joined before the doors closed. And I'm going to post about it everywhere, so it's going to be hard to miss. And I say this because I'm proud that we built something that truly helps change the lives of those who need it. And most importantly, I'm proud of those who claimed access. I'm proud of those who claimed access that they believed in me enough to take that leap of faith so that way they could reclaim their time and obtain that financial freedom that they've been seeking. Now, I'm going to say something that might surprise you. If you have been here for this entire presentation, if you've seen the proof, if you've seen the guarantee, if you've seen the math, if you've seen the results, and you are still looking for a reason not to do this, then honestly, this is not for you. And that's okay. That's totally fine. I don't want everyone inside of Monetize. I want the people who are ready. And I have a question for those of you who are still here. If you're watching up until this very moment, I know one of two things for a fact. I know some of you have your finger ready to pull the trigger. You're simply prolonging the inevitable decision, hoping you hear me say the magical words, whatever they may be, whatever you need to hear. You have already put your information in the checkout form and you're waiting for that very last second. That hesitation means you know exactly what the right decision is. But self-doubt is creeping in. It's getting the best of you once again. It overtakes your logical brain, the part of your brain that has never let you down, the same part of your brain that will determine if you become successful and build the life of your dreams, or you let your emotional side win. The side that gets the best of you every single time. You are attached to the dollar figure. You are thinking of losing, okay? You think you're losing, but don't forget, we have you covered with our guarantees. But the issue is your emotional brain refuses to let you make the right decision yet again. Let the logic kick in and take over. What do you actually lose here? You're already at the finish line. You simply need to cross it. Why come this far and give up now? So I know that you will make the right decision, or you still wouldn't be here. The other thing I know for a fact is that that there are those who have the means to join, but they're worried that they can't do it. They might be scared. They might feel like it's not the right time. They don't know for certain if this is what they want to do. And these are completely valid reasons. And I can't blame you. But I want you to seriously ask yourself, what do you lose with our money back and work with you until you win guarantee? What do you lose by giving this a fair shake? The odds are completely stacked in your favor. So why wouldn't you bet on yourself? We have reached a point where no amount of screenshots, proof, testimonials, earning reports will change your mind that is being controlled by your emotions. It is truly you versus you. It always has been. And I truly hope that you don't let your emotional brain take over the logical once again. I promise that this loop you've been trying to escape, the freedom you've been seeking, taking control of your time, doing what you want because you can afford it, is off the table for good once we close our doors if you let the emotional brain win. But for everyone else, the ones who've been waiting for the right moment, this is it. There's no better moment in time than right now. Nobody can click the button for you. That job is yours. I have given you everything I can give you from this side of the screen. The proof, the system, the tools, the guarantees, the team. I've stacked this so heavily in your favor that really the only variable left is you. And that variable, unfortunately, I can't control. Nobody can click that button for you. No one can decide that your futures matter enough, matters enough to act on it, except for you. Nobody can look at everything you've seen today and make the call on your behalf. That part is yours, okay? That part of things is yours and yours alone. So go to joineman.com now. Click the pin link to the comment. Click the pin link to complete your enrollment and make it count. Look, I'm going to check one last time on my phone, see how many spots are left. Oh, he still hasn't given me one of those. So if we can move it to my B cam, and I'm going to ask the team and okay, all right. Well, shit. I guess I basically have to remove that. So all of this has to go. I can go back in there, back in the vault. No more access for you. We have 867 spots taken. So that is, sorry, I was never very good at school. I mean, clearly, as you can tell. That is 21 spots left. Okay. So 21 spots left. So they should go anytime now. Look, as I sit here and before Ole gives me one of these, I will give you some more things that are, kind of have been knocking around my head as we've been going through this presentation. I want you to realize that, quite frankly, everyone else doesn't have the same opportunity that you do. Okay, you're the real winner here. And I hope that when I told you that before, that really hit home for you. And before I let you go, I'll tell you one more story. And I want you to really listen to this one, okay? I want to tell you about Ramsey. He's from Canada. And before I say any of this, his life looked like a lot of other people's lives, structured around leaving. Every morning he would wake up and leave his wife behind, okay? And every day he would drive to the office, he'd clock in, he'd work on someone else's dreams for someone who saw him as not as a person, but as a number, a pawn. He'd done construction before that. He knew what it meant to leave the house and grind through the heat and snow and come back with nothing but a paycheck. And here he was years later, still leaving, just in a different industry. Then he had a daughter, and he stayed home for a bit. He stayed home with her for a bit, okay? But eventually, of course, he had to go back to office. And that's when that feeling really set in, that he was building someone else's dreams while his daughter was at home without him in the room. And he had to do something about it. So around this time, when Monetize came across his radar, something shifted, and it scared him. Not because he doubted himself, but because he knew exactly what saying yes meant. It meant betting on himself with a daughter at home and a wife counting on him. That's not a small moment. That's a moment you feel in your chest. And he said yes anyways. But I'll be honest with you. The first few weeks were hard. He was mainly just trying to do things manually, using the skills that he developed in previous jobs, and those skills had served him well. But building something from scratch is a completely different game. His first product took longer than it should have, okay? His AI profit page wasn't coming together the way that it was needed to. And all of that was until he sat down with the specialized AI tools inside of Monetize, and that was the turning point for him. And now, Ramsey works from home. His office is 10 steps away from his living room. Some mornings, when he has free time between work blocks, he doesn't need to commute back and forth, through traffic anymore. But instead, he just opens the door. His wife is there. His daughter is there. They have coffee. They get on the floor and they play with their daughters. They play with their daughter for the first 20 minutes. And look, no one can tell him to go back. His wife doesn't work anymore. She doesn't have to. Last time he spoke to our team, he was on track to close $20,000 that month. But when you ask Ramsey what actually changed, he actually doesn't lead with a number. He leads with the door. The one he gets to walk through in the middle of the day. The door that walks into the room where his daughter is. And there's nothing more valuable in this world than that. And Ramsey was sitting exactly where you're sitting right now. Same screen, same challenge, same decision. He didn't have any advantages that you don't have. He wasn't any luckier. He just decided that today was the day that things change. And here is the thing. He didn't try to change his whole life in one day. He made one product. And he got one sale. And then he kept going. You don't have to become a millionaire tomorrow. And in fact, I can guarantee you won't. You just need to start. I like to say that all you have to do is take that first step. You just have to put one foot forward in front of the other. Put your head down. Focus on the pavement. Left, right. And then when you do that for long enough, you're going to look back and you're going to go, fuck, I can't believe how far I've come. And that sincerely is what I wish for you. So with this message, I want to give you one final chance to join us at joineman.com. The spots for the 4-day bootcamp will be gone any second now. If you load the page by clicking the pinned link in the live chat and still see the bonus there, it means you still get it. But it's about to be taken offline any moment now. So if you are ready to start putting one foot forward in front of the other, exactly like Ramsey did, and a year from now, think back to yourself, fuck, I can't believe how far I've come. Then it is your time to act now. Go secure your golden ticket at joineman.com, because trust me, 1 year is enough to completely change your life. Ramsey did, I did it, and so can you. You just have to take that first step. So look, with that being said, I'm going to leave you to it. The final decision is yours now. And I do see a lot of comments asking about a very specific certain something. I'm sure, as you guys know, every single day we have some incredible workbooks, and everyone's always asking what the password is, okay? If you are still on the stream waiting for today's workbook, the password is action, all capital letters. Now, don't let that distract you from the action that you need to take now by going to joineman.com. And look, with that being said, let me check with the team what the update is. It's all good, Ole. You can pull it back up. Let me get a final confirmation. Now, I know for a fact that about half of these, of the 21 that are left, are definitely gone. I don't even need the team to tell me. And, yep, there we go. All done. Ladies and gentlemen, we are finished here. I shall see you tomorrow for our third live session at the exact same time. Trust me, you do not want to miss out on tomorrow's session. I am going over something I've never revealed publicly, and I know that for a lot of you guys, you know, for those who haven't, been one of the lucky people to join Eman at joineman.com, you know, for those people, you know, I kind of gave you the example earlier of the car. You don't need to understand how a car works in order to drive it, right? So for those of you guys who have joined us at joineman.com and enrolled in Monetize, you know, we gave you the pre-built car. Like, you don't really need to know how the insides of the engine work and how this interacts with this, et cetera, et cetera. But for those of you guys who want to know how the car works and a little bit of the system behind it and dive behind everything, we're going to be going over some incredible stuff tomorrow to kind of pull the hood open and see how everything runs. So with all that being said, it's been a great honor and a great privilege to share the stage with you here today. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at the same time.